Chapter 930. Sheng Kai really wanted to use the three sons of the Lu family to force the old lady of the Lu family to submit. But after following them for a day, he found that the second and third sons were working in different places to earn money. Could it be that he had really turned over a new leaf? The third son of the Lu family had lost one of his hands when he was flirting with a girl, so he could not resist. So he was Sheng Kai's target. However, after following her for a day, the kindness on her face touched his heart, but he had no other choice. In the middle of the night, he found two helpers and found out where third young Master Lu lived. It was a shabby rental house, which was easy to rob. After all, he only had 3 days. After kidnapping her, he still had to make a deal with Sheng Xiao and meet the old lady of the Lu family. However, when he entered the apartment, he heard a child crying. After the three of them turned over a new leaf, they brought their children home to be raised. Therefore, there was still a crying child waiting to be fed in third young Master Lu's home. Seeing this, Sheng Kai could only keep smoking to ease the guilt in his heart. The third son of the Lu family came out of the restaurant at 11 o'clock in the evening. When he got home, it was 11:30. However, before he could open the door, he was stopped by two men. "You, what are you doing?" Third young Master Lu looked at the two of them and asked nervously, "You, do you want money? I'll give it all to you." With that, he took out the money he earned today from his trouser pocket. "That's all. Please, I'm a disabled person. I don't have much money." This was the first time Sheng Kai was really involved in a crime case. So, he could only smoke to relieve the depression in his heart. They were here to take the hostage, but Sheng Kai did not give them any orders. The two helpers turned around in confusion and asked in a low voice, "Should we tie them up?" "Please, I still have a child at home to raise. If I'm kidnapped, no one will take care of my child." Third young Master Lu knelt down in front of the three of them. This third young Master Lu, who lived off his parents, was a world of difference. Sheng Kai still did not say anything. After taking the last puff of his cigarette, he extinguished it and said, "Let him go." The two helpers were ready to take action, but they received such an order from Sheng Kai? The two of them frowned in confusion. Let him go. Sheng Kai couldn't do it. He couldn't trade other people's lives for his own safety. He could only go back and let Song Jiang deal with him. There was no other way. When third young Master Lu saw this, he quickly stood up and was about to run away. However, the masked man suddenly appeared and knocked Sheng Kai unconscious. He carried him on his shoulder and said to the two hired men, "You're not needed here. Go." Their sugar daddy was already tied up. What was the point of keeping him around? The two helpers dropped the rope and ran. As for the young master of the Lu family, he was sitting on the steps in shock. Su Che glanced at him and said indifferently, "Go back. It's best if you move." The young master of the Lu family immediately got up, ran back to his rented house, and locked the door. Su Che carried the man and got into the car. He immediately replied to Sheng Xiao that they had been intercepted. In fact, he had been watching the show from the side for a while. He bet that Sheng Kai couldn't do it. Sure enough, it was just as he expected. A member of the Sheng family was a member of the Sheng family. Unlike the Song family who were born with the genes of crime, Sheng Kai did not want to kill at all. Then, he tied Sheng Kai up, got into the car, and drove back to Jianchuan overnight. When Sheng Xiao received the news, he immediately arranged for someone to pick up Song Qiaoji. Song Qiaoji was in a state of shock all day. The fruit knife stained with her blood was always by her side. She knew very well that if Song Jiang didn't let her leave, she would end her life here. She definitely wouldn't become a stumbling block to Sheng Kai's departure. Before she made a big mistake, she wanted to save Sheng Kai. She couldn't let Sheng Kai do anything stupid for her. However, she didn't see Song Jiang that day. She thought that Song Buozhi would definitely tell on her when he returned, but she didn't expect him to really let her live. In the middle of the night, Song Qiaoji was still sitting on the sofa when the phone screen beside her suddenly lit up. She immediately opened it and saw that Feng Shanshan had sent her a text message. "The car that will pick you up has already set off. Pack your things, and we'll take you away in 20 minutes. At that moment, Song Qiaoji almost cried because this meant that Sheng Xiao had stopped Sheng Kai from making a mistake. Even if she died immediately, she would feel that it was worth it. Thinking of this, she didn't feel that she had anything else worth taking away, so she immediately set off and left the new house. Everything went smoothly, but the car was stopped by Song Jiang at the door before it could leave the parking lot. Song Jiang brought two subordinates and opened Song Qiaoji's car door. He said to her, "Miss, please." Song Qiaoji held the steering wheel and didn't move because there was a fruit knife beside her. She was thinking about whether she should make a move, but once she did, she would never be able to go back. Song Jiang saw his daughter's complicated expression and quickly said, "Qiaoji, what are you doing?" "Dad, please let me go." Song Qiaoji sat in the car and cried, "Let me leave. You're a member of the Song family. Where do you want to go? To find Sheng Kai?" Song Jiang frowned and pointed at her. "Let me tell you, even if you die, your corpse will belong to the Song family. It has nothing to do with the Sheng family. I'm guessing you've been waiting downstairs. You installed a surveillance camera in Mayanakai's new house?" Song Qiaoji sneered. "I'm doing it for your own good." "For my own good?" Song Qiaoji laughed mournfully. Then, she grabbed the fruit knife on the passenger seat and stabbed it at the hands of the two men. Seeing that the two men had stopped, she immediately closed the car door and reversed the car to escape. Chase after her. Song Jiang's face was gloomy and his tone was fierce. He had actually been betrayed by his own daughter. Song Qiaoji had actually dared to betray him. Song Qiaoji drove frantically toward the other exit, but Song Jiang had already sent people to intercept her. When Song Qiaoji saw this, her heart had already died. She rushed forward without a care and crashed into the body of a black car. "Capture her for me." Song Jiang was so angry that he was confused. Now that he had caught her, he had to put righteousness before family and break this woman's neck. However, just as the two men were about to pull Song Qiaoji out of the car, Sheng Zhao's men arrived. 7 or 8 strong men got out of the two cars. They surrounded Song Qiaoji's car and said to Song Jiang, who was standing at the side, "This is the person we want. This is my daughter. But your daughter doesn't want to go with you." The man in the suit asked someone to help Song Qiaoji out of the car and put her in his car. When Song Jiang saw this, his expression turned extremely ugly. Chapter 931. The law. Aren't you the law yourself? With that, the 7 or 8 men returned to the car and took Song Qiaoji away in front of Song Jiang. Song Jiang was flustered and exasperated when he saw this. He had never thought that Song Qiaoji would dare to betray him. She would betray her biological father for a man. It's okay. There's still a long way to go. Sooner or later, I'll deal with that adulterous couple. How dare they betray me? Because of the car crash, Song Qiaoji was half awake. She looked at the person beside her and saw that it wasn't Song Jiang's people. She finally relaxed her tense nerves and fainted. Did this count as an escape? Did she? On the other side, Su Che was driving Sheng Kai back to Jianchuan. However, halfway through, Sheng Kai opened his eyes. Seeing that his hands and feet were tied up, he quickly said, "Sheng Xiao asked you to come? Let me go." "Since you can't do such a ruthless thing, why must you stay by Song Jiang's side?" Su Che asked Sheng Kai. "Don't waste your energy. The president has instructed me to send you directly back to Jianchuan and the Sheng family." When Sheng Kai heard this, he immediately thought of Song Qiaoji. "No, I have to go save someone. Don't waste your energy. I won't let you go." With that, Su Che sped up. Because it was not convenient to go to the hospital, Sheng Xiao temporarily settled Song Qiaoji at Tang Yan's house. Before dawn, he found a family doctor to check on her body. Although she had crashed into the car, it was not a big deal. It was just that because she had been nervous for a day and night, Song Qiaoji slept very soundly. The next morning, Mu Qiqi went down to see her. Seeing that she was still asleep, she did not disturb her. However, when she saw the obvious scratches on her neck, she suddenly felt her determination. She's a ruthless person. When Mu Qiqi and Feng Shanshan saw the direction of her wound, they knew that it was caused by herself. Thinking about it, She had also experienced a lot of mental pressure and trauma during the past day and night. I don't know if Su Che will be able to successfully bring them here. Feng Shanshan and Mu Qiqi sat by the bed and chatted when they saw Song Qiaoji suddenly sit up on the bed and call Sheng Kai's name. You're safe. Sheng Kai is on his way back. Don't worry. Mu Qiqi immediately grabbed Song Qiaoji's hand and comforted her. Don't be afraid. After hearing Mu Qiqi's words, Song Qiaoji was in a daze. It took her a long time to react before she hugged her knees and started crying. I thought I would die there. I held the fruit knife and didn't dare to put it down for a moment. Don't go back to the Song family in the future. Stay in the Sheng family. This is your new beginning. However, Song Qiaoji wasn't that optimistic. She looked at Mu Qiqi with tears in her eyes and asked, Is your family really willing to accept me? I am the daughter of the Song family. I am the daughter of my enemy. You underestimate the Shen family and the Sheng family. As long as you are sincere about Sheng Kai, no one will care about your background. Mu Qiqi blinked at her. Even a rebellious person like me, who has a seniority gap with Xiao Xiao, is together with him. What are you guys doing? Really? Hope appeared in Song Qiaoji's eyes. I don't want anything. I just want to be with Akai. Go back to sleep. When you wake up, I promise that Sheng Kai will have returned to your side. Mu Qiqi helped her lie down. You don't look good right now. Song Qiaoji lay down obediently and closed her eyes. There were still sparkling tears on her long eyelashes. Then the two of them left the room. Feng Shanshan looked at Mu Qiqi and leaned against her arm. Do you really believe that she won't hurt the Sheng family for the Song family? I believe that the Song family doesn't have the heart to tolerate others, but the Sheng family does. Mu Qiqi answered straightforwardly. Aren't you afraid that this is a trap set by Song Jiang? When the time comes, Song Qiaoji and Sheng Kai will betray you together. What are you afraid of? Mu Qiqi asked Feng Shanshan in return. If they betray the Sheng family, then they will no longer have a place to hide in this life, and they will never be able to live a peaceful and happy life again. If they are willing to bet their entire life's happiness, what can't we afford to lose? Besides, even if they betray us, it won't hurt our hearts. At most, old Master Sheng will feel worse. Mu Qiqi shrugged indifferently. More importantly, I believe that Xiao Xiao has better arrangements. The last sentence is the reason why you're at ease, right? Feng Shanshan couldn't help but despise her. This person was showing off her love more and more without regard for the occasion. It's good that you know. The two pregnant women laughed. Mu Qiqi finished breakfast at Feng Shanshan's house. She had thought that it would take some time for Su Che to bring Sheng Kai over. However, just as the sky brightened, Su Che had already driven the car outside the villa. Then, with Tang Yan's help, the two of them brought Sheng Kai into the living room and let him sit on the sofa. Because Sheng Xiao was not around, Tang Yan, who did not go out, became the one to guide him. You should go home. I'm going to save her. You don't understand how important she is to me. Sheng Kai struggled. The skin on his wrist was already broken. If you bring Song Qiaoji over, will you be willing to leave the Song family? Tang Yan put down his teacup and asked him. Wherever she is, I'll be there. In other words, if Song Qiaoji was unwilling to leave the Song family, then he would continue to stay in the Song family to protect her. I don't want to leave her alone. Song Jiang could take her life at any time. I can't sit back and do nothing. You're stubborn. Tang Yan looked at Sheng Kai coldly. You probably don't want to live anymore. Maybe. I also think I'm crazy. In fact, Song Qiaoji had been at the door the whole time. She had been listening to the conversation between Sheng Kai and Tang Yan. After hearing it, she burst into tears. Perhaps hearing the sound, Sheng Kai turned his head and saw a familiar figure through the crack in the door. He stood up excitedly, but because his hands and feet were tied, he really couldn't go over. When Tang Yan saw this, he untied the rope on Sheng Kai's body. Then he saw a figure running in. Mu Qiqi and Feng Shanshan also walked out of another room with their arms crossed. I didn't expect you to do such a thing. Because Tang Yan was used to being alone in the past, he was not very sociable, and did not seem to have the concept of family and friends. However, after Feng Shanshan and Mu Qiqi had been together for a long time, Tang Yin gradually gained human warmth. Everyone has the beauty of helping others, Tang Yin replied as he placed the rope on the table. All right, it's time to go to work. Feng Shanshan adjusted his collar and said, You don't have to worry about this. Su Che is outside protecting you. Nothing will happen. Okay. Tang Yin took the opportunity to kiss Feng Shanshan's forehead before leaving the house. Chapter 932. In the room, Song Qiaoji was already in tears. She instantly threw herself into Sheng Kai's arms. You're still alive, you're still alive. I'm fine. I'm fine. Sheng Kai hugged Song Qiaoji tightly. I thought I'd never see you again. I even thought about going back to the Song family to kneel down and save you. Even if I die, I'll die with you. Akai, I was wrong. Song Qiaoji broke free from his arms and looked at him with tears in her eyes. I was too selfish. I shouldn't have left you in the Song family. We should have asked for help earlier. That way, Song Jiang wouldn't have forced you to kill people. I was wrong. Sheng Kai hugged her and sat on the bed, wiping away her tears. I don't regret it. I said that I would protect you like a man. I don't want to. I want you to live. I want you to live well. Song Qiaoji interrupted him and reached out to hold his face. She instantly kissed him. I love you, Akai. The two of them kissed and hugged each other. After a while, they reluctantly let go of each other. Let me take a good look at you. Why would Godfather let you go? Sheng Kai saw the wound on Song Qiaoji's neck. Did they do it? Did they? It was me. Song Qiaoji quickly shook her head. It was Sheng Xiao who helped me escape. The next day after you left, I went to ask for help. I begged Mu Qiqi and the others to save you. I could do anything. Why are you so stupid? Sheng Kai's eyes were red. Can you live with me in the Sheng family from now on? I know it must be hard for you to forget your fiancé's hatred, but I really don't want you to go back and take risks. Let's start over. Don't worry about hatred anymore, okay? Song Qiaoji nodded with tears in her eyes and hugged Sheng Kai again. I'll listen to you. I don't care about anything else. I just want you to live. The two of them confided in each other in the room. The two women outside the door sighed repeatedly. They really didn't expect Sheng Kai to fall in love. How good was that? Song Jiang had to commit evil. Let's go. Make some space for the two of us. It'll be easier. Mu Qiqi held Feng Shanshan's hand and said, Let's have some tea in the garden. I'll also go and visit Su Che. He went on a mission in the middle of the night and hasn't slept yet. Feng Shanshan also looked at Mu Qiqi with an ambiguous smile. Hearing the sound of the door closing, Sheng Kai hugged Song Qiaoji again and kissed her hard. I feel like I'm dreaming. I really never thought that one day, you would be willing to leave the Song family with me and return to the Sheng family to live. Silly, you let me know that people have to look forward. I'm willing to be with you. I'm. Song Qiaoji, a Chang Hua Chang Sheng, Sheng Xiao Sheng and Chang. He said. Shang He Xiao and Kin Xiao Hua. Song Su. Xiao said. Song Qiaoji felt as if her soul had left her body, but she also knew that she was at Tang Yan's house. She immediately felt a little embarrassed. Akai, why don't you wait for us to get home? I can't wait any longer. After saying that, Sheng Kai's hand had already reached into her pants and touched the cotton underwear. The two of them frantically demanded each other in the room, as if they wanted to swallow each other whole. Mu Qiqi and Feng Shanshan drank tea outside the door. It was not convenient for them to enter the living room that day. Song Jiang was furious that his daughter and son-in-law had run away. He really did not expect Song Qiaoji to have such courage. She seemed to have forgotten that the blood of the Song family flowed in her body. Song Buoji sat at the side expressionless. For a moment, he felt that Song Qiaoji had the guts to actually do something like betrayal. All right, old man, you forced Sheng Kai into a corner in this matter. After that, you didn't control Song Qiaoji well. It's no wonder that others want to rebel. You directly asked Sheng Kai to kill people. How could he be willing? You still think he's your son-in-law. No one would treat their son-in-law like this. You're still making sarcastic remarks. You already knew that your sister had the intention to betray us. Why didn't you say anything? Song Jiang slammed the table angrily. Great. That B***starred couple has escaped to the Sheng family. They're in Sheng Zhao's territory. What do you want me to do? They don't know much. Even if they did, they wouldn't be able to produce any evidence. What do you have to worry about? Song Buozhi asked impatiently. You forced them away. Now you're blaming me? This is too infuriating. I can't take this lying down. Song Jiang sat down on the chair. I can't let those two live. All right, old man. If you have the ability, go and find trouble with the Sheng family. Don't forget, this is the Sheng family's territory. If you want to touch the Sheng family, Sheng Xiao will be the first to object. Bear with it. There'll be a chance in the future. No. Song Jiang competed with himself. I'll think of a way to teach that B***starred couple a lesson. Song Buozhi shrugged. Up to you. I have many daughters. Do you think that just because one of them left, it'll be a blow to me? Dream on. He didn't think in that direction at all because Mu Qiqi and Sheng Xiao wanted to help Sheng Kai and Song Qiaoji, a couple of lovers, who was thinking about their hatred. They really thought too highly of themselves. In the evening, the two of them, who had been together for the whole day, finally woke up from the bed in the room. Sheng Kai got up first and prepared to go out to see what was going on. Today, he had indulged himself for the whole day and hadn't gone out yet. He wanted to properly greet Mu Qiqi and the others. Song Qiaoji propped herself up and was a little uneasy. Where are you going? I'm going to see eighth brother. You go back to sleep. Song Qiaoji nodded. The two brothers must have a lot to talk about, so she didn't want to disturb them. More importantly, she was afraid that the Sheng family would have doubts and opinions about her. As if sensing her uneasiness, Sheng Kai quickly comforted her. Don't think too much about it. Eighth brother, and the others aren't like that. I know. Sheng Kai nodded, packed his clothes and walked out of the room. At that moment, he saw Sheng Xiao sitting in the living room. In fact, Mu Qiqi and the others were still there just now. However, they were now barbecuing outside. Eighth brother. Sheng Xiao leaned against the sofa, waiting for Sheng Kai to come out and say a few words. Let's not talk about anything else. After dinner, we'll go straight back to the Sheng family. Grandpa, will he still accept me? And Xiaoji, why do you think there's blood relations in this world? Because only family can do it. No matter what you've done wrong, the door will be open to welcome you. The old man already knows. You should be prepared. After saying this, Sheng Xiao got up from the sofa. Eighth brother, thank you. Chapter 933. Don't think about such nonsense in the future. Live a good life. With that, Sheng Xiao walked out of the room. When Sheng Kai heard this, he felt a lump in his throat. Some words were stuck in his heart, and he couldn't say them no matter what. The oven had been set up in the yard. Sheng Kai opened the door and walked out. When he saw the scene, he felt even more uncomfortable. Although Mu Qiqi's feelings were a little complicated, she felt very gratified to see Sheng Kai's awareness. She said, Where's Dr. Song? She hasn't eaten anything all day. Isn't she hungry? Sheng Xiao sat at the side and drank his coffee. He chatted with Tang Yen. Su Che had become a barbecue chef, and two pregnant women were fighting for meat beside him. How good would such a scene be? Sheng Kai's heart surged. He immediately returned to his room and looked for his lover. Qiaoji, get up. Song Qiaoji crawled out of the blanket, feeling a little embarrassed. Isn't it a little embarrassing? Making a mess in someone else's house. It's okay. Sheng Kai helped her put on her clothes and ruffled her hair. They won't mind. When we get back to the Sheng family, we'll freshen up and rest. I know you've been frightened these 2 days. Song Qiaoji blushed as she put on her shoes and followed behind Sheng Kai. As Mu Qiqi held the kebab, she looked at Song Qiaoji, who was behind Sheng Kai. She thought to herself, this world is really strange. When I first met this doctor, why didn't I think that we would have such fate today? Are you too okay with eating barbecue? When Song Qiaoji saw this scene, her occupational disease immediately flared up. It's fine. These things have been processed by the nutritionist at home. It won't affect you much if you eat them occasionally. Mu Qiqi took a bite and did not forget to praise fifth aunt. You should be hungry too. After hearing this, Song Qiaoji's face turned even redder. You hang out with us, and let the men cool off on the side. Knowing that she had a grudge, Mu Qiqi took the initiative to pull her away from Sheng Kai. Song Qiaoji turned to look at Sheng Kai, but he could only sit down pitifully beside Sheng Xiao. Since I'm back, I'll completely forget about the Song family. Sheng Xiao sipped his coffee as he glanced at the person beside him. He was the younger brother, but he was acting like an older brother. Even if I want to cooperate with Officer Tang, I don't have any evidence. Sheng Kai crossed his arms and placed them on his legs. He looked a little unnatural. The higher-ups are in charge. I'm just a criminal police officer. Tang Yin answered calmly as he scrolled through his phone. There were all kinds of alcohol in front of the three of them, but because Mu Qiqi and Feng Shanshan were pregnant, Tang Yin and Sheng Xiao did not touch them. When Sheng Kai saw that, he opened a bottle of red wine. I need time to forget. Not far away, Song Qiaoji turned to look at the three men from time to time, because she was afraid that Sheng Xiao would interrogate Sheng Kai. Seeing the tense atmosphere, she walked over and said, Don't ask him. I'm Song Zhang's daughter. I know more. As their daughter, you might not know as much as they do. Sheng Kai pulled her to sit down beside him. I just don't want you to continue to be caught in a dilemma in this matter. You're thinking too much. They just want me to forget. I'm the one who can't get over it. It turned out that she had misunderstood. When Sheng Kai saw this, he pushed her up again. Go eat something. We'll go to the Sheng family later. Song Qiaoji nodded and returned to the middle of Mu Qiqi and Feng Shanshan. I told you. You don't have to worry, right? Mu Qiqi smiled and said, Second sister-in-law, you're a professional. You definitely know whether the child in Shanshan's stomach is a boy or a girl. Then you can be a witness. I bet with Shanshan that the child in her stomach is a girl. Song Qiaoji was stunned for a moment. She was so choked up by the word second sister-in-law that she couldn't speak. In order not to let you lose, you'd better choose another gender. This time, it was Mu Qiqi's turn to be stunned. Ha ha ha, isn't that a boy? Captain Tang, you have a son. In fact, the reason why Mu Qiqi wanted to eat this barbecue was to ease Sheng Kai and Song Qiaoji's nervousness. After going through such an urgent life-and-death ordeal, she had to meet the serious old man again. She was afraid that both sides would say something hurtful and irreparable. She was also giving old Sheng some time to recover. After all, if he wanted his grandson to come home, he had to accept the daughter of the Song family. If he had a grudge in his heart, then there might be another tragedy in the future. It's good to have a son. In the future, he can protect his mother with me. Suddenly Tang Yen, who was usually unsmiling, showed off his affection to the four of them. Are you sure it's not because you like a son more? Feng Shanshan narrowed her eyes and asked. Of course not. Mu Qiqi was unconvinced. She thought to herself that she had never let Song Qiaoji see her. Moreover, she had not been pregnant for long. She opened her mouth and asked the man who was drinking coffee. Master Xiao, do you like a son or a daughter? A daughter, Sheng Xiao replied. Reason? Have a male to compete for favor? Mu Qiqi immediately laughed. You win. Sheng Kai was also very embarrassed when the topic of childbirth was brought up. After all, he had been found out and might not be able to have children. Song Qiaoji saw through his thoughts. She walked to his side and whispered in his ear. Don't worry, I have a way to cure you. Sheng Kai nodded slightly. Sheng Kai took the opportunity to look at his watch. Unknowingly, it was already 9 o'clock in the night. It's getting late. It's time to go. Sheng Kai held Song Qiaoji's hand and nodded. I understand. Thank you for the past 2 days. Song Qiaoji and Sheng Kai stood up and thanked them. I hope that you can take care of us in the future. If second brother bullies you, call us. Mu Qiqi made a dialing gesture. Okay. Song Qiaoji's eyes couldn't help but turn red again. Su Che, send them back to the Sheng family. After Sheng Xiao enslaved Su Che, he instructed him to be his driver. Don't worry, CEO. Su Che remained calm. The reason why he needed Su Che was because his skills were enough to ensure their safety. As for the Sheng family and the old man, Sheng Kai would have to face them himself. Mu Qiqi watched the two of them leave, and returned to Sheng Zhao's side to sit down. She thought that the Song family should be going crazy with anger, but it didn't matter. It was good that they were back. Xiao Xiao. I'm afraid these two have to be especially careful when they go out in the future. The Song family won't let them off so easily. We'll talk about it when the time comes, Sheng Xiao said lightly. You should go home and sleep. Have you already planned it? Sheng Xiao did not answer. He just carried her in his arms. On the other side, Sheng Kai was very nervous, but he knew that if he showed any signs of panic, Song Qiaoji would not know what to do, so he held Song Qiaoji's hand tightly. Don't be afraid. Chapter 934. After Su Che heard this, he wanted to complain in his heart. That was before he was taught a lesson by his young madam. I did something wrong. I'll apologize to him. Don't worry. If he wants to hit me or scold me, it's up to him. But I won't let him hurt you. In reality, the old man at home was already waiting anxiously. No matter how great the hatred was, it couldn't compare to the safety of a family. Old Master Xing knew his physical condition very well. To be able to see his grandson home, he already had no regrets in his life. How could he ask for more? Soon, the black Bentley drove into the Sheng family's house. It was already late at night, but every light in the Sheng family's house was still warm. Sheng Kai's eyes almost turned red when he saw this familiar house. Second young master, go in. Old Master Sheng is still waiting inside. Seeing that Sheng Kai had not moved for a long time, Su Che quickly reminded him. Sheng Kai turned his head and held Song Qiaoji's hand. He mustered up all his courage and walked towards the Sheng family's door. Sheng Xiao was right. No matter what he did outside, the only people who could forgive and tolerate him were his family. Grandpa was angry. At most, he would just beat him up, but he would never force him to kill or set fire to the house. But Song Jiang was different. The white wooden door was gently pushed open by Sheng Kai. Then, he saw an old man with a walking stick standing at the entrance with a complicated expression on his face. Sheng Kai knew that he had let the old man down. He took 3 steps forward and knelt down heavily in front of the old man. When Song Qiaoji saw this, she also knelt down. Grandpa. Only Sheng Kai himself knew how heavy the word grandpa was. He had left the family he used to hate, but after he left, he was only used and devoured by his enemies. You've lost weight, and you've become darker, but you're more energetic and mature. The old man wanted to bend down with his walking stick, but he couldn't even do such a small movement. Get up. It's good that you're back. No, Grandpa. I'm a sinner of the Sheng family. I'm in the wrong. No matter how wrong you are, you're still my grandson. As a grandfather, how can I feel good hearing you make mistakes outside? Grandpa Sheng was a little choked up. Do you know what I was thinking when 8th brother said you were coming back? Even if I die, my eyes are clear. Even if I die immediately, I can explain to your grandmother in the underworld. So it's good that you're back. Don't worry about whether it's right or wrong. Just live a good life in the future. Grandpa Sheng threw away his walking stick, bent down slightly, and finally patted Sheng Kai's shoulder as he wished. Sheng Kai originally thought that he would feel better if Grandpa Sheng could hit and scold him, but Grandpa Sheng did nothing and easily forgave him. So as a man, he couldn't hold back his emotions and cried out in front of his grandfather and his wife. In the future, I won't be willful anymore, Grandpa. That's good. Both grandfather and grandson's eyes reddened. Get up, get up. However, Sheng Kai still did not get up. He looked at the woman beside him and said to Grandpa Sheng, Grandpa, this is Qiaoji. Although she's from the Song family, she saved me and helped me. I hope Grandpa can accept her and not make things difficult for her. 8th brother has already told me about this matter. You young people should deal with your own matters. I can't care about it now. Qiaoji, thank you, Grandpa. After Song Qiaoji heard this, she quickly kowtowed. Thank you, Grandpa. I will be filial to you with Akai. You're all good children. Get up. We'll talk about other things tomorrow. Now go back to your room and rest. Take a good shower. Tomorrow, I want to see my former high-spirited grandson. Sheng Kai held Song Qiaoji's hand, stood up, and bowed to Grandpa Sheng again. Thank you, Grandpa. Grandpa Sheng waved his hand, and gestured for the two of them to quickly wash up. Sheng Kai turned around with Song Qiaoji and returned to his old room. Nothing here had changed. The room was still there, which meant that Grandpa Sheng had never really been angry with him. However, when he thought of what he had done wrong, Sheng Kai felt very ashamed. Song Qiaoji looked around Sheng Kai's room. It was as if she could see how heroic the second young master of the Sheng family was. Staying with her in the Song family was a fatal blow to him. Sheng Kai took out a shirt from the closet and handed it to Song Qiaoji. He looked very apologetic. Wear my shirt to sleep tonight. Tomorrow, we'll buy some clothes for you. From now on, you'll be the ugly daughter-in-law of the Sheng family. Song Qiaoji felt like she was dreaming, so she pinched herself hard. What I said to your grandfather just now was from the bottom of my heart. From now on, I will be filial to him with you. I believe in you. With that, Sheng Kai hugged Song Qiaoji tightly. We will forget the past. We definitely will. The next morning, just as dawn broke, Mu Qiqi and Sheng Xiao arrived at the Sheng family's house with Song Qiaoji's clothes. When old Master Sheng saw Mu Qiqi, he pouted. You're pregnant, but why do you work and rest like an old man? Don't you need to sleep? It's not even dawn yet. What are you doing here? Mu Qiqi knew that he was concerned, but he didn't mean what he said. She rolled her eyes at him. I'm bringing clothes to your granddaughter-in-law. She can't possibly not have a change of clothes, can she? How can the Sheng family lack clothes to wear? The old man snorted. Mu Qiqi didn't reply. His grandson was back, and he was in a good mood, yet he was still bickering. When Sheng Xiao saw this, he said to the old man calmly, although second brother is back, he hasn't completely severed ties with the Song family. He is still the legal representative of Chongrong Electronics. In order to prevent the Song family from getting hold of him in the future, he still has to deal with the matter of Chongrong. Will the Song family let him off so easily? The old man was a little worried. The Song family doesn't want to let him off, but they can't do anything to him. This is all thanks to Song Jiang not trusting him enough, and not letting him know about the confidential matters. It's not enough to cause the Song family to kill him. However, there are exceptions to everything. In short, second brother should try not to go out, or bring enough bodyguards. After all, the Song family doesn't like traitors. Why don't we let second brother go abroad to avoid the limelight like third brother? The old man suggested. Guns aren't banned abroad. Mu Qiqi reminded old Master Sheng. Alright, don't worry about it. We'll think of a way to settle this matter. Song Jiang really couldn't do anything to Sheng Kai, because he wouldn't expose himself for an insignificant person, right? Sheng Xiao was right. This was all because Sheng Kai didn't come into contact with the Song family's secrets. That was why Song Jiang didn't need to waste his energy to silence him. Chapter 935. The reason why he could control Sheng Kai back then was because of Sheng Kai's hatred for the Sheng family and Sheng Xiao. But now that the misunderstanding between Sheng Kai and the Sheng family had been resolved, it was impossible for Sheng Kai to stay in the Song family and be used. More importantly, he had kidnapped one of his daughters. Sheng Kai could go back, but Song Qiaoji had to die. By the time Sheng Kai woke up, Sheng Xiao and Song Qiaoji had already left. Sheng Kai felt extremely satisfied to be able to wake up from his big bed. Looking at his beautiful wife beside him, Sheng Kai felt that he had nothing else to ask for in this life. Mu Qiqi brought clothes over. This surprised Sheng Kai, but he also felt the couple's thoughtfulness. Song Qiaoji picked up one of the black dresses and tried it on. The size was exactly the same. Sheng Kai was admiring his wife's beautiful body when he was interrupted by a call from Chongrong. When he saw the secretary's number, Sheng Kai immediately had a bad feeling. However, he did not hesitate and directly reached out to answer the call. Hello. CEO Sheng, save me. I've been kidnapped. I'm locked in a small house that doesn't see the light of day. Save me. Before Sheng Kai could speak, he heard a very calm and evil voice on the other end of the line. Great traitor CEO Sheng, how are you? Do you know where this is? Do you know that your secretary is about to leave a suicide note and leave this world forever? Just like the previous employees? This is all because of you, because of Song Qiaoji. If you don't want to make a big deal out of this, and don't want innocent people to take the blame for you, then send Song Qiaoji back to Master Song's side. The Song family is where she belongs. I'll give you 3 minutes to think about it. If you refuse, just wait to collect your secretary's corpse. When Sheng Kai heard this, he felt as if he had fallen into an ice cellar. After putting down the phone, he looked at Song Qiaoji, wanting to say something but hesitating. Song Qiaoji had just finished trying on the dress. When she saw Sheng Kai's expression in the mirror, she knew that something must have happened again. What's wrong? Did my father threaten you again? It's fine. Sheng Kai hugged Song Qiaoji in his arms. Then, he made up his mind and said, I won't admit defeat this time. I'll call eighth brother. I believe he has a way. What exactly is it? Don't worry about it. Just promise me that you'll stay by my side forever. Sheng Kai hugged Song Qiaoji and refused to let go. Promise me first, Qiaoji. If you're not by my side, then there's no point in living. Song Qiaoji's body trembled when she heard this. In the end, she still nodded. I promise you, because she could feel how uneasy Sheng Kai was at that very moment. After getting Song Qiaoji's answer, Sheng Kai immediately dialed Sheng Zhao's number and walked out of the bedroom with his phone. Eighth brother, I've been threatened. The Song family threatened me. If I can't make a decision to send Qiaoji back within 3 minutes, they'll hurt my secretary and forge a suicide note, just like every employee who died in Changrong. On the other hand, Sheng Xiao was much calmer in his office. He didn't even bother to frown and just said he wouldn't dare. Old eighth. Song Jiang wouldn't create a murder case for Song Qiaoji because he knows very well how much attention Bai Sini's case has attracted. He wouldn't want to be targeted by the police. You guys aren't powerful enough. Sheng Xiao calmly analyzed the reason for him. But it's very likely that they'll cripple my secretary, or my secretary's family, or leave them half dead. It was one thing for him to be crippled, but Sheng Kai didn't want to implicate others. Sheng Xiao was silent for 2 seconds. Finally, he answered Sheng Kai. Promise him first. I'll go negotiate with him. Old eighth, do you have a chance of winning? We'll only know after we talk. Sheng Xiao couldn't give him an accurate answer right now. If this matter isn't resolved as soon as possible, he'll change his mind in the future and use 10,000 similar methods to threaten you. When that time comes, you'll never have a day of peace. Tell me the way to settle this once and for all. I'll do whatever it takes. Sheng Xiao told Sheng Kai the truth. Some things weren't that optimistic. There's no way to settle this once and for all, but I can make him forget about your existence. However, you have to get through this first. Even so, Sheng Kai still felt hope. As long as I don't have to hand over Qiaoji, I'm willing to go all out. You have to pay a price to kidnap someone's daughter. Sheng Xiao smiled gently. 3 minutes are almost up. Sheng Xiao gave Sheng Kai a few more instructions over the phone. After that, the two of them hung up. The other party immediately called back. Are you asking for help, President Sheng? Are you calling the police? Or is it Sheng Xiao? Let my secretary go. I'll agree to your conditions. I won't let her go before I see Mississippi. You should understand, right? The other party laughed. Besides, you agreed too quickly. It makes me feel insecure. Then what exactly do you want? I'll send someone to pick up Mississippi. She came out of the Sheng family alone. I don't want to be schemed against by Sheng Xiao. President Sheng, a life is at stake. I believe you won't object, right? Besides, Song Qiaoji is a member of the Song family. It's only right that Mr. Song wants his daughter back. You don't have to suffer too much. Mr. Song won't mistreat his daughter. When Sheng Kai heard this, his left hand clenched tightly into a fist. At this moment, he was deeply angry at his own incompetence. Song Qiaoji had already heard the phone call between Sheng Kai and the other party from behind the door. In fact, she was already mentally prepared. Even if Song Jiang could let Sheng Kai go, he would never let her go. Yesterday was the happiest day of her life. She was already satisfied. At least, she had a beautiful dream. And this dream was given to her by Sheng Kai. In the dream, she had a happy family and a husband who loved her as much as his life. But reality was so cruel. She didn't want to make things difficult for Sheng Kai, nor did she want to implicate innocent people. So, when Sheng Kai hung up the phone, she immediately went forward and hugged Sheng Kai's waist. Send me back. Don't feel sorry. At least we had it. Xiaoji, believe me, I will never give up on you unless I trade my life for it. After Song Xiaoji heard this, she covered his lips. I want you to live. Live well. I believe in eighth brother, so I ask you to believe in him too. He will definitely be able to turn the tide. With that, Sheng Kai held Song Xiaoji's hand and went to Xing Bowen's room to look for a set of jewelry. It was the one that Mu Qiqi had given to Ren Yufei. It had a GPS system in it. These were the last few words Sheng Xiao said on the phone. What are you looking for? Chapter 936. Ren Yufei did not bring it with her. After all, she and Sheng Bowen were going abroad, so there was no need for her to bring jewelry. Sheng Kai heaved a sigh of relief when he saw it in Ren Yufei's jewelry box. Whose is this? Song Qiaoji felt a little uneasy when she saw Sheng Kai holding it in his hand. Sheng Kai handed it to her and said, There's a small positioning system in this. It can track you. No matter where you are, I can find you. Put it on first. I'll connect it to the positioning system immediately. Song Qiaoji looked at the small jewelry with a complicated expression. You still refuse to give up. I won't give up, and I hope you won't give up either. Sheng Kai hugged Song Qiaoji tightly. Didn't we agree this morning? Without you, I don't know how to go on. Song Qiaoji leaned into Sheng Kai's arms and finally nodded. I'll always wear it. Song Jiang asked me to send you out, and they'll let my secretary go. I don't want to implicate anyone, and I believe you're the same. However, no matter where you're taken, you have to remember that I'll always be behind you. At most, we'll die together. When Song Qiaoji heard Sheng Kai's words, her throat immediately burned. Kai, I can die without regrets to be able to meet you in this life. I don't want you to die. I want us both to live. Having said that, Sheng Kai pinched her chin and kissed her madly. Don't be afraid. Remember what I said. Even if we die, we will die together. Soon Song Jiang's men called Sheng Kai again. Their tone was still evil. Second young master Sheng, how long do you want to dawdle? Your little assistant is in the bathtub and can barely breathe. Are you sure you want to continue wasting each other's time? However, this time, Sheng Kai turned on the speakerphone. He took Song Qiaoji's phone and turned on the recording function. If I send Qiaoji out, how can I be sure that you'll let my secretary go? Sheng Kai asked. If I can't see the secretary, I won't send Qiaoji out. You still want to negotiate with me? The other party looked incredulous. I only want a prostitute. Why would I want your lousy secretary? No, since we're making a deal, we have to look like a deal. Otherwise, we'll perish together. Anyway, without Qiaoji, I don't want to live alone. The man was confused by Sheng Kai's firm tone. He frowned. Do you want to see your secretary's body right away? Then, on the other side of the phone, the secretary screamed. Second young master Sheng, I advise you not to anger me. I don't like negotiating with others. Either hand over the young miss, or collect your little secretary's corpse. Bicini's cases were also handled by you, weren't they? Those young girls didn't commit suicide, right? Sheng Kai suddenly changed the topic and brought up the previous murder case. Do you know how likely it is that you will attract the attention of the police when you commit the crime today? Do you really think the police can't catch you? If you work so hard for Song Jiang, will he care about your life or death? That's none of your business. Hand her over immediately. I'll have your secretary call you back within 5 minutes after I pick up the young lady. With that, the man hung up the phone. Sheng Kai had also successfully recorded the conversation between him and the kidnappers and sent the recording to Sheng Xiao. Alright, Kai, it's time for me to go. After he was done, Song Qiaoji cupped his face and said, Be careful. When you go out, I'll drive behind you. I believe in you. With that, Song Qiaoji tiptoed and tried her best to kiss his lips. She didn't know if she would live or die, but Song Qiaoji was really satisfied. Having last night was already her greatest happiness. She wouldn't ask for more. I'll send you out. The two of them walked out of the room hand in hand and appeared in front of the old man. The old man was in a good mood. He wanted to chat with the two of them for a while, but seeing that they were in a hurry to leave, he didn't force them. He only asked, "Are you coming back to have lunch with me?" When Sheng Kai heard this, he felt his throat burn. After a few seconds he smiled and said, "We'll come back to have dinner with you." "That's fine. Let's go out on a date." The old man didn't mind. He had no idea that once the two of them went out, they might be separated by life and death. The two of them didn't look at old Master Sheng and walked out of the Sheng family's door. Not far away, a black car honked at the two of them. They must be from the Song family. Sheng Kai held Song Qiaoji's shoulder and seriously said to her, "Remember what I said. You must remember it well." "I got it. I'm leaving Akai." Song Qiaoji hugged him tightly. "I love you." Sheng Kai watched as she got into the other party's car. Soon, the car left Sheng Kai's line of sight. At this time, Sheng Kai immediately took out his phone and located Song Qiaoji's route of departure. However, he didn't move. He was controlling his urge to chase after her immediately. Time ticked by. On Sheng Kai's side, only 5 minutes had passed. Then he dialed the other party's number. "Let go of my secretary. When I'm sure no one is following, miss, I'll naturally let go of your secretary." "You said 5 minutes. All I said was, get your secretary to call you in 5 minutes. With that, the other party handed the phone to Sheng Kai's secretary. CEO, I'm sorry. Are you alright?" Sheng Kai tried his best to suppress the anger in his heart and asked the secretary. "I'm fine. Don't worry." However, before Sheng Kai could say anything else, the other party snatched the phone from the secretary's hand. "Since you've left the Song family, you're no longer a member of the Song family. Everything in the Song family has nothing to do with you, including Mrs. Life and Death." With that, the other party hung up. Sheng Kai immediately turned on the GPS and chased after Song Qiaoji, according to the route she had taken. "Eighth brother, everything depends on you." He had to chase after Song Qiaoji because he had promised her that even if he died, the two of them would die together. This time, he would not go back on his word. As for Sheng Xiao, he had already prepared the bargaining chips and had Su Che contact the Song family. When Song Jiang heard that Sheng Xiao was going to visit them personally, he found it quite interesting. A young man in his early 30s was challenging the entire Song family. He also wanted to know what kind of ability Sheng Xiao had to save Song Qiaoji from his hands. Therefore, he agreed to meet Sheng Xiao. The people from both sides agreed to meet at a restaurant at the dock. Since it was a negotiation, they had to have the attitude of a negotiation. Chapter 937. Following the GPS, Sheng Kai chased after Song Qiaoji at full speed. However, the location became more and more remote, and the anxiety in his heart became more and more obvious. He had already guessed Song Jiang's goal. Song Jiang would not let the traitor go, and he would not let Song Qiaoji off easily. Then the little red dot on the phone stopped at a certain place. Sheng Kai did not dare to drive any closer. He could only stop the car and head toward the little red dot. It was in a cave on the mountainside. Song Qiaoji was tied up by 2 men and thrown into the cave. Sheng Kai was afraid that she would be hurt, so he shared the location with everyone in his address book before rushing in. He had nothing else on him, nothing but a dagger. Song Qiaoji was thrown into a pile of rocks. Originally, they wanted to humiliate her and starve her to death here. However, Sheng Kai's appearance made the 2 powerful men feel that things had become more interesting. "Akai, go. Don't worry about me. Go." Song Qiaoji leaned against the rock and shouted, "I won't leave even if I die." Sheng Kai walked up to the 2 men and said, "I know that I have to win today to take my woman away, so I will do whatever it takes." The 2 men sneered at Sheng Kai. They felt that he was here to die. This kind of rich young master did not know his place at all. How dare he stand up for them? "Take her away. You won't be able to take anything away. Similarly, you will die here." The 2 men did not even deign to attack together. One of them walked toward Song Qiaoji, while the other walked in front of Sheng Kai and raised his leg to kick him. Sheng Kai was kicked to the ground. In the eyes of the two men, he was so weak that he could not withstand a single blow. Therefore, the man walked toward Sheng Kai with a low smile. Unexpectedly, Sheng Kai took out the dagger from his ankle and cut his calf. The man angrily stepped forward to snatch the dagger, but Sheng Kai jumped on him. Sheng Kai ignored him and bit the man's ear. With a shrill scream, blood flowed down the man's ear. The other man could not take it anymore and quickly went over to help. The two of them pressed Sheng Kai to the ground and used their strong fists to teach him what it meant to overestimate himself. "Stop fighting! Stop fighting!" Song Qiaoji cried. "I have a GPS on me. If you don't leave now, the police will be here." The two men immediately looked up at Song Qiaoji. "Otherwise, how did Akai find me? There's no need for you to go to jail for my father, right?" The two men looked at each other, as if they were considering something. In the end, they decided to take the two of them and find a new place to bury them alive. On the other side, the atmosphere was very relaxed. Sheng Xiao and Song Jiang officially met at the hotel at the dock. However, Song Jiang noticed that Sheng Xiao did not bring Su Che with him today. He only brought a few bodyguards with him. Was he looking down on him? Soon, the two of them sat down in a private room in the Pier Hotel. This was the second time Song Jiang sized up the young man in front of him seriously. Just like the first time they met, he was completely calm and composed, making it impossible for others to see through him. "Why did you ask me to meet on a day like this, President Sheng?" Song Jiang did not want to waste any more time with Sheng Xiao. He went straight to the point, wanting to know what Sheng Xiao wanted to do. "Since you hate the Shen family, you should target me. You want to deal with me. Shouldn't you let go of the other unimportant people?" Sheng Xiao sat calmly in front of Song Jiang. Even though he was a junior, his aura did not lose out at all. He looked like he had the power of thunder. "You're doing this because of Song Qiaoji and Sheng Kai, right? Sheng Kai wants to leave the Song family, so I'll just treat it as raising an ingrate. The Sheng family has already found their son. So why are you still bothering about someone else's daughter? This doesn't make sense." Song Jiang sneered. He picked up his teacup and took a sip. No matter how long the Sheng family's hands are, they won't be able to reach the Song family. "Is that so?" "I don't think so." After Sheng Xiao said that, he took out his phone from his pocket and placed the call record that Sheng Kai had just recorded in front of Song Jiang. "To you, it doesn't matter if you have one more or one less daughter. Why are you so conflicted about such a matter, old Song?" Song Jiang frowned after listening to the recording. However, he could not be threatened by Sheng Xiao just like that. "Do you think this is evidence?" "Sheng Xiao, you're still too inexperienced. Of course this isn't evidence, and I won't hand it over to the police. But I can hand it over to someone useful. When the time comes, do you think your deputy Liang will draw a clear line with you? You're not afraid of being exposed, and I don't care. Anyway, this matter has nothing to do with the Sheng and Shin families, but I can use it to make a lot of articles. You're not afraid, and Deputy Liang behind you isn't afraid. But what about above? You're not even fully grown yet. Aren't you afraid of causing a huge commotion? By the way, I forgot to tell you that the old lady has already prepared an open letter about Elder Lu. I don't think your Song family's game will last long. Since you're not afraid, I have nothing to say. Do the men of the Sheng family lack women?" With that, Sheng Xiao took the phone and stood up from in front of Song Jiang. "Since there's no way to continue the negotiation, I don't want to waste any more time. You should know that I like to hold a grudge. Today these things are all dangerous in my hands. When there are more and more of them, I can't guarantee that I won't be able to give the Song family a chance to breathe. I'm not old Master Shen. If I had a choice 25 years ago, I wouldn't have spared a single one. So you'd better not give me a chance to destroy your Song family." With that, Sheng Xiao took a step forward and prepared to leave with his bodyguards. At that moment, Song Jiang took a deep breath and looked up at Sheng Xiao. "What are the terms of the deal? Let Song Qiaoji go, and I'll give you the original recording." After hearing Sheng Xiao's words, Song Jiang suddenly slammed the table and said, Sheng Xiao, are you playing with me? You want to exchange a mere recording for my daughter? What about that old lady? That's a different matter. If you want the old lady to let things go, it's not impossible. From now on, don't cause trouble for Song Qiaoji and Sheng Kai anymore. Sheng Xiao, it won't do you any good if you give me time to recuperate. Song Jiang's face was gloomy as he looked at Sheng Xiao with a vicious gaze. When the time comes, it won't just be Sheng Kai and Song Qiaoji. Your Sheng family will also have to be uprooted. We'll talk about it when you have the ability, Sheng Xiao answered without fear. So, are you going to do today's deal or not? If I want to do it, I have to keep them alive. You don't have to worry about that. Sheng Xiao sat back on the chair. Chapter 938. My bodyguards are all behind me. Sheng Xiao sat diagonally on the chair, his slender legs crossed. Which one do you want, old Song? You know who I'm asking. Song Jiang sneered. Facing such a young man, his emotions were even more complicated. Sheng Xiao, being too strong might not be a good thing. Is that so? But I like the feeling of being invincible. This was Sheng Xiao's pride. Song Jiang calmed himself down and picked up the teacup again. Young man, let's talk again. Your request is too much, but I don't want to waste this time. Sheng Xiao spread his hands. You're the one who wants to expose the murderer in Bai Sini's case. If I were old Song, I would let Song Qiaoji go with a smile. There were no traces of the murderer in Bai Sini's previous cases, but this time, he has appeared. What did it mean to appear? Song Jiang only felt regret now. Doesn't Zhongting have anything to use against you? You can try, Sheng Xiao said bluntly. Rules are made for people. No matter who it is, they have to do things according to the rules. But I don't like rules. I like to dominate everything. Then you might be disappointed, old Song. If it's up to your son, he might not be able to hold up the sky. With that, Sheng Xiao took out his phone again and placed it in front of Song Jiang. He repeated the recording. Make your decision. Song Jiang was upset and angry, but there was nothing he could do about the young man in front of him. I accept your conditions, but that doesn't mean I've lost. Words are no proof. Right is proof. Sheng Xiao, don't go too far. When had Song Jiang ever been humiliated like this by a junior? But the young man in front of him had done it. If he had a gun in his hand, he would definitely send Sheng Xiao to hell. But for now, he could only swallow his anger. I'm doing this to save everyone the trouble. With that, Sheng Xiao stretched out his hand and placed the prepared paper, pen, and ink in front of Song Jiang. Song Jiang's face turned red, and he was almost fuming. I'll settle this score with you sooner or later. Sheng Xiao spread his hands again, indicating that he would be waiting for him at any time. On the other side, Su Che led the police and found the cave where the kidnappers had taken Song Qiaoji to. However, because Song Qiaoji had exposed the GPS on her, the two kidnappers took it. There are traces of blood inside. The two shouldn't have gone far. The police surveyed the surroundings and discussed searching the mountain. Su Che looked at the footprints and bloodstains on the ground. The drag marks were so obvious, so he went to look for them. The police followed closely behind. Not long after, Su Che heard the sound of digging on the mountainside. When he rushed over, he saw two men covered in blood burying Sheng Kai and Song Qiaoji. In the deep pit, only a portion of their skin and clothes could be seen. When the two men saw Su Che appear, they looked at each other and pounced on him with their tools. However, they were kicked away by Su Che. The other person saw that Su Che was a martial artist, so he turned around and ran. However, before he could take 2 steps, Su Che punched him in the head. Tian Xiao, he Xiao the police. They are Xiao he all. He's still breathing. He just fainted. Send him to the hospital. Su Che looked at the two of them and sighed. Sheng Kai was really going all out for love this time. He used to think that this man was a coward, but now, he felt that he still had some guts and courage. Then Su Che called Sheng Xiao to report. He's been saved, but I'm afraid he'll have to lie in the hospital for 10 days to half a month. As long as he's alive. With that, Sheng Xiao hung up the phone and left with the agreement signed by Song Jiang. Thank you, Elder Song. Song Jiang sneered as he watched Sheng Xiao walk away, his hands clenched into fists. We'll see. The police arrested the kidnappers and brought them back to the police station. Sheng Kai and Song Qiaoji were sent to the hospital because Sheng Kai's injuries were too serious and he had multiple fractures. He stayed in the operating theater for 3 hours before being sent back to the ward. Song Qiaoji was only unconscious, but she suddenly woke up halfway and sat up from the hospital bed. Kai. Mu Qiqi was at the door of the ward. When she heard Song Qiaoji shout, she immediately walked in. You're awake? Qiqi, where's Kai? Song Qiaoji immediately grabbed her hand. Kai is seriously injured. He. Lift the curtain and take a look yourself? Mu Qiqi gestured to her next door. Song Qiaoji quickly opened it and saw Sheng Kai lying on the hospital bed wrapped in gauze. She finally heaved a sigh of relief. You won't die, right? You won't die, right? Master Xiao spent so much effort to negotiate. How could he let him die so easily? Mu Qiqi smiled. Don't worry. He's just suffering from external injuries. He just needs to recuperate. What about his secretary? She's also in the hospital. Her injuries aren't serious. That's good. Song Qiaoji immediately relaxed. Only then did she feel that she had no strength left in her body. Lie down and rest. When your body recovers, you can take care of him. Don't you think so? After saying that, Mu Qiqi took out the agreement signed by Song Jiang from her pocket and handed it to Song Qiaoji. Don't worry. In the future, the Song family won't cause trouble for you anymore. You now belong to the Sheng family and Sheng Kai, second sister-in-law. Song Qiaoji could hardly believe it. However, when she saw the familiar handwriting, she cried out. Thank you, thank you. In the future, don't let your imagination run wild. Look at that man. He can do so much for you. Cherish the relationship between the two of you. Song Qiaoji turned to look at Sheng Kai and nodded vigorously. I know. The old man called and asked you to go back for dinner. However, with second brother's current condition, he probably won't be able to eat. I'll go eat for you. You guys can rest well in the hospital. Cheer, let's go. Sheng Zhao's voice suddenly came from outside the ward. Mu Qiqi responded and patted Song Qiaoji's shoulder. Don't worry about your safety. There are bodyguards outside. Besides, Song Jiang also signed this. He won't dare to go back on his word for the time being. With that, Mu Qiqi walked out of the ward and returned to Sheng Zhao's side. What was the negotiation between you and Song Jiang like today? I really want to know. If I wasn't pregnant, I would have gone with you. Sheng Xiao tilted his head to look at the little one and hooked her chin. It was thrilling and exciting. Then Song Jiang must hate you now. Why? Are you afraid? Sheng Xiao put his arm around Mu Qiqi's shoulder and led her to the black Bentley. It's not that I'm afraid. I just feel that my man is a true hero. Sheng Xiao brought her into the car and protected her abdomen. His expression did not change. But in the future, we might face an even greater crisis. Chapter 939. In the hospital, after Mu Qiqi left, the ward suddenly quieted down. When Song Qiaoji saw that there was someone guarding the door, she immediately felt relieved. She got up and closed the door before sitting next to Sheng Kai's bed. Then, she stretched out her injured hand and held Sheng Kai's palm tightly. Why are you so stupid? I'm not worth your sacrifice at all. It's worth it. The sudden hoarse voice caused Song Qiaoji to suddenly raise her head. Her eyes were filled with surprise. You're awake? You're worth it. Sheng Kai was seriously injured, so he did not dare to move. However, when he saw his woman by his side, everything that had happened today was worth it. I'll never leave you again, Akai. We'll never be separated again in this life. Song Qiaoji lay on Sheng Kai's body and cried bitterly. When you're better, we'll have a few children. Our family will be together forever. Sheng Kai really wanted to raise his hand, but he didn't have the strength. However, the feelings in his heart were very complicated. He had a lot to say, but his body was too tired. That night, old Master Sheng did not wait for Song Qiaoji and Sheng Kai to return home for dinner. Instead, Mu Qiqi returned to the Sheng family home. Call second brother and little Song and ask where they are. It's already 9 o'clock. Why aren't they back yet? There has to be a limit to a date. The old man was very anxious and irritable. It should be said that he had a premonition in his heart. Mu Qiqi put down her chopsticks and pressed the back of his thin hand. She said seriously, "Don't look for them. They won't be back for dinner tonight. They're in the hospital. However, I can promise you that in half a month, they'll definitely come back to eat with you." The old man looked at Mu Qiqi. His lips moved, but he could not make a sound. Don't ask why. Second brother wanted to completely cut off his connection with the Song family, so he had to pay a price. Fortunately, all of this has been resolved. Mu Qiqi's expression was relaxed, and there was no trace of worry. So you don't have to worry. Did eighth brother interfere? Mu Qiqi nodded. There was no need to hide such things from the old man. The old man sighed and picked up his bowl and chopsticks again. I've always wanted eighth brother to shoulder the burden of the Sheng family, but now that he's done it, I can't bear to let this old bag of bones go. Fortunately, there's someone like you by eighth brother's side. I can be at ease. What do you mean by stuff? Mu Qiqi was unhappy. You'll be an old man in the future. Eat by yourself. I won't accompany you. Thank you, little seven. Grandpa Sheng said from the bottom of his heart. Don't think that eighth brother can do anything. If you hadn't connected the family, eighth brother wouldn't have become the mature and steady person he is now. He changed because of you. Of course. Mu Qiqi looked smug. So you have to treat me better. After dinner, Sheng Xiao returned to the Sheng residence to pick up Mu Qiqi after dealing with Zhongting's matters. On the way back, Mu Qiqi looked at Sheng Xiao like a little fangirl outside with a strong sense of obsession. If you keep looking at me, my clothes will burn, Sheng Xiao reminded her as he drove. The old man thanked me just now. Although I've long forgotten those grudges from the past, I still feel a sense of accomplishment seeing him rely on me so much now. So, your wife is a charmer. After Mu Qiqi said that, she couldn't help but laugh. Sheng Xiao did not cooperate with her performance. Instead, he said to her, when we get home later, you sleep first. I'll go to the Shun residence. Are you going to discuss something important with Dad again? Sheng Xiao did not say anything. After the car stopped, he kissed Mu Qiqi's forehead and said, I have to protect you guys so that I can be a superhero, right? Go in yourself. Mu Qiqi nodded and consciously entered the house. Only then did Sheng Xiao go to the Shun residence with peace of mind. Did you expose the old lady's matter to Song Jiang? So, I want to take a different path. Sheng Xiao had come today to talk to Shen Jianchuan about this matter. The meeting between Song Jiang and I today is equivalent to signing a truce agreement. However, I have no intention of stopping the investigation into him. Moreover, the old lady can't be the initiator of the whole thing. Why? Shen Jianchuan asked. Because on the day she arrived in Jianchuan, I arranged for her to have a full-body checkup. Today, I received her checkup report. It's early-stage lung cancer. After hearing this, Shen Jianchuan was silent. After a moment he said, Then she has to be treated. I've already made the arrangements, Sheng Xiao replied. Shen Jianchuan nodded. Things are unpredictable in the world. I hope the old lady can recover. I promised Song Jiang that I would delete the recording on my phone, but Song Qiaoji and Sheng Kai still have the original copy. I will let Tang Yin study it, because he can find the murderer of the series of murders from it. However, this matter can only be carried out in secret. Song Jiang hates you the most right now. Shen Jianchuan pointed at Sheng Xiao and said, So you and Qiqi must be careful, especially Xiao Qi. She'll be giving birth in a few months. I don't want the Song family to seize the opportunity to cause trouble. That's also your life. You have to hold on tight. As for other matters, leave the education industry to me. Right now a few big brands are integrating. It's more than enough to fight against Yashang Group. They won't have the chance. Sheng Xiao gave Shen Jianchuan an answer firmly. At the Banyan courtyard, Mu Qiqi was soaking alone in the bathtub in her bedroom. The little thing in her stomach was growing day by day. Mu Qiqi could clearly feel her appetite growing by the day. Seeing that her hands and feet had become thicker, Mu Chichi was a little discouraged. When I give birth, I wonder how fat I'll be. Why are you so fat? You're also my only wife. Sheng Xiao leaned against the door frame and answered her muttering. Mu Chichi turned her head and saw the man. She immediately smiled. You're back. How do you do it? Every time you see me, you're exceptionally surprised? Sheng Xiao was a little strange. The two of them had only been apart for a short 20 minutes. Don't you want to rub, touch, kiss, and hug me when you see me? I thought that love is like this. Even if you're in front of me, I'll miss you very much. My heart and eyes are filled with you. Every second I see you, I feel very happy. Chapter 940. Mu Chichi widened her eyes and looked at Sheng Xiao. They had been husband and wife for so many years, but this man still liked to say sweet words. Just by saying it once in a while, this man's heart would fly into the sky. Good words don't be repeated twice. Sheng Xiao lowered his head slightly and bit her neck in the misty bathtub. His posture was very erotic. Mu Chichi felt her entire body start to tremble, especially after she was pregnant. Every inch of her skin had become more sensitive. How could she bear being bitten by Sheng Xiao like this? Xiao Xiao, I'm afraid of you. I'll say it, okay? Let go of me first. It's too late. Sheng Xiao had long discovered that she was becoming more and more sensitive, so he had 1,000 ways to punish her. Mu Chichi was afraid that he would be serious, so she quickly stopped him. Be careful. Don't hurt the baby in your stomach. I know what I'm doing. What was a sense of propriety? When Mu Chichi left the bathroom, she had already fallen asleep. Her face was still extremely red when she was in Sheng Xiao's arms. As a woman, when she loved someone, perhaps it was as the little thing had said. She wanted to see him all the time, kiss him, touch him, and say that she loved him countless times. This was a woman's mentality. As for a man, if he really loved someone, the most he would think about was sleeping with her. He would sleep with her in all kinds of positions, especially when he saw that she couldn't get out of bed. That kind of satisfaction made a man the most comfortable. However, as a member of the Sheng family, this night was a happy and reunited one. However, as a member of the Song family, Song Jiang's expression was gloomy the whole day. Song Buozhi was deeply afraid that the old man would have a heart attack or a sudden cerebral hemorrhage, so he immediately advised, a loss is a loss. Anyway, you don't care about Song Qiaoji. Just treat it as a greeting gift to the Sheng family. Song Jiang slapped the wooden table. You only know how to make sarcastic remarks. It's been 25 years. I, Song Jiang, have prepared for most of my life just to come back and cause trouble for the Shen family. It's to take revenge, not to be taken revenge on by others. Then what way do you have to deal with Sheng Xiao? Song Buozhi asked him. There was no trace of anger in his expression. Dad, it's not that I want to criticize you, but what have you done to vent your anger? Do you really think the police will give up on the investigation of those people at Chongrong Electronics? As long as there is new evidence, they can activate the contingency plan at any time. Don't provoke Sheng Xiao anymore. We need to stabilize our position in Jianchuan first. Uncle Song brewed a pot of hot tea and placed it in front of Song Jiang. I've always thought that we were in an active position, while the Shen family was in a passive position. But now I realize that it doesn't seem to be the case. Sheng Xiao seems to be plotting something. Didn't you notice? When Song Jiang was reminded by his son, he immediately thought of the old lady of the Lu family. When Sheng Xiao made the deal with him, he had only mentioned it once. It was also because of this that Song Buozhi discovered the problem. So please don't come knocking on my door for no reason. There's still a long way to go before the transition. Be as calm as you have been in the past. After hearing his son's words, Song Jiang took a deep breath. He had indeed been agitated by Sheng Xiao. He had prepared for so many years, and he was used to being a smiling Buddha. But now, because of a young man, he was pestering him endlessly. It was time for him to reflect. You decide what to do in the near future. I need to go up the mountain to recuperate for a few days. Dad, Don't forget that we have to prepare for something big. Song Buozhi reminded him that only by helping Deputy Liang get the position would he have the right to completely settle the Shin family. Sheng Xiao already knows that we have Deputy Liang behind us, so don't contact him for the time being in case he catches anything. We have to get rid of this person. Otherwise, he'll be our biggest obstacle. Song Jiang instructed Song Buozhi before he left. Dad, if you really can't handle it, invite Uncle Rong back. Song Jiang did not say anything and got up from his chair. Song Buozhi sat on the chair, drinking red wine as he watched Mu Qiqi's past news. The little bride's birth was extraordinary. He did not expect her and her sister to be born with different fathers. The world was really big, and there were all kinds of strange things. It was really interesting. Sheng Kai spent the next 10 days in the hospital. Fortunately, his injuries were recovering day by day. Old Master Sheng knew that his grandson was in the hospital, but he did not go to see him because he did not want to feel uncomfortable. Therefore, he listened to Mu Qiqi's words. He only needed to stay at home and wait for the two of them to come back for dinner. Half a month later, Sheng Kai was officially discharged from the hospital. When he was discharged, he called the old man and told him that he wanted to go home and have dinner with him. When the old man received the call, his eyes almost became moist. Hurry up and come back. You've been out for so many days. Aren't you afraid that I'll be worried? At 7 o'clock in the evening, Sheng Kai got into Su Che's car and brought Song Qiaoji back to the Sheng family home. Just like the first time, the old man paced around the living room anxiously. As soon as Sheng Kai entered the house, he knelt in front of the old man again. Grandpa, I'm unfilial. Will it still be like this in the future? Sheng Kai shook his head. I will always stay in the Sheng family and by Grandpa's side. The old man waved his hand. Knowing that he was fine, he was completely relieved. Come and eat. I'm already so old. What else do I have to look forward to? Sheng Kai held Song Qiaoji's hand and formally greeted the other members of the Sheng family. Eldest brother, third brother, and fourth brother were all abroad. Only sixth brother had stayed in the Sheng family from the beginning to the end. He had also witnessed the changes in the Sheng family over the years. Because of Sheng Zhao's example, even if Sheng Kai brought back the woman of his enemy, he would not be surprised. When they met, he would still call her second sister-in-law. Mu Qiqi and Sheng Xiao entered the Sheng family's door at 7 in the evening. This time, old Master Sheng was completely satisfied. In a while, let the butler take a photo of our family. It was rare for Mu Qiqi to see the old man so happy. So she said on behalf of her man, Old man, now that second brother is back, shouldn't you let Xiao Xiao relax and hand Huang Yao over to second brother? After hearing Mu Qiqi's words, the old man was stunned as he looked at Sheng Xiao and Sheng Kai. I don't care. In the past, before Zhongting merged with Huang Yao, he arrived home on time at 7:30 p.m. With Huang Yao, he can only arrive home at 8:30 p.m. The time he spends with me is obviously much less. No one said anything. At this moment, Sheng Xiao calmly said, he has no choice. Everything has been arranged clearly. Chapter 941. Huang Yao is much easier to manage than before. You don't have to do your best. After Sheng Xiao took over Huang Yao, he had used Zhongting's powerful background to optimize Huang Yao's internal structure. The problems from before had long disappeared, and now, the managers were much more relaxed. Then it's decided. Mu Qiqi knew that her man was much more relaxed, so she immediately beamed. I say, you came back for dinner because of this, right? The old man saw through Mu Qiqi's intentions and grabbed her. Others can't even beg for it. But you don't have any intentions at all. This is God's arrangement. Mu Qiqi peeled a shrimp and placed it on the old man's plate. Speaking of which, what do you plan to do, second sister-in-law? When Song Qiaoji heard Mu Qiqi suddenly mention her, she said, I'm an obstetrician, so I still plan to work in the hospital. Then it's decided. It's perfect. Old Master Sheng looked at the family and felt that they were so harmonious and warm. He felt that he had no regrets. Now his greatest hope was to see eighth brother's child born as soon as possible. Time passed very quickly. Ever since Sheng Xiao and Song Jiang stopped fighting, the Song family had indeed quietened down a lot. For 3 consecutive months, there were no more incidents. At present, Feng Shanshan was about to give birth, and Mu Qiqi was 7 or 8 months pregnant. Wherever she went, she carried a big belly. In these few months, a brand new situation had appeared in Jinchuan's education industry. A few old educational institutions, probably in order to find a chance of survival, actually boldly invested money and began to optimize the industrial structure. Soon, they won a good reputation in the education world. This was a huge impact on Yashang Group. The Song family's financial industry abroad was not optimistic. They might not be able to last for the 5 years that Sheng Xiao had predicted. Therefore, the domestic business was very important to the Song family. It was already late autumn, and Jinchuan loved to reign. Looking out from the towering office, all he could see was mist. Sheng Xiao was wearing a blue suit and a brown coat. He sat in the reception area with Shen Jianchuan and was predicting what the Song family would do next in order to counterattack. Not long ago, in the International Educational Institution Selection Competition, Yashang Group was directly thrown out of the top 10 with a 13% complaint rate. I have also collected some recent data about the education industry. According to the survey, Yashang Group was indeed very strong at the beginning, but the disadvantages are also very obvious. According to the normal competitive relationship, Yashang Group will soon no longer be competitive. Dad, the Song family must know what we know better. Song Buoji will definitely change next. Sheng Xiao stacked the documents together and looked at Shen Jianchuan seriously. We must stabilize the current situation as much as possible. Most importantly, we can't let the Song family know that we have anything to do with this. Don't worry about that. Shen Jianchuan took off the glasses on the bridge of his nose and rubbed the space between his eyebrows. Every time I have something to convey, I will entrust a lawyer to convey it on my behalf. I haven't met them before, so the Song family won't be able to notice it for a while. It's been 3 months. I also want to see if the Song family has really improved after being quiet. With that, Sheng Xiao stood up from the sofa and said to Shen Jianchuan, I'll go home with you. It's only 5 o'clock now. Shen Jianchuan looked at his watch in confusion. Qiyer's emotions are the most unstable, Sheng Xiao answered naturally. Shen Jianchuan immediately understood. Only when it came to that little one would his son-in-law not ask about anything. He had to satisfy her first. Don't give in to her too much. There has to be a limit to everything. Sheng Xiao did not say anything. He had never complained about the little one in front of Shen Jianchuan. His tolerance for others was very low, but when it came to Mu Qiqi, his tolerance seemed to be endless. As for why Mu Qiqi's emotions were unstable, it was because she had recently joined a group of mothers. There were many pregnant women or mothers in the group who were always sharing all kinds of negative things. After Mu Qiqi saw them, she became much more sensitive than usual. If Sheng Xiao was by her side, she wouldn't have so many feelings. Things like giving birth to a child was difficult, mother-in-law and husband couldn't protect themselves. Giving birth to a child was painful, not allowing a cesarean section, and no one cared about the pregnant woman after the child was born, and so on. In the end, Sheng Xiao left the group for her. Don't read too many useless things. You don't have these problems. I'm just pitiful for them. Sigh. Mu Qiqi felt uncomfortable. Many people say that if 2 people are together for a long time, they will turn love into family. When the child is born, there's a high chance that it will turn into an enemy. What about love for each other? Sheng Xiao hugged her with a teasing smile on his lips. Love is the most important thing to maintain a family. Xiao Xiao. Anyway, I won't turn love into family in this life. Without love, how can I be called a partner? After saying that, Mu Qiqi lowered her head again and looked at her morning book. Sheng Xiao had been listening to her nagging like this recently. Calluses were about to form in his ears. However, after hearing what she said just now, he was instantly satisfied. I know I've been a little frustrated recently, because Shanshan's due date is almost here. I'm afraid. What are you afraid of? I'm afraid of pain. Mu Qiqi hugged Sheng Zhao's hand with a pitiful expression. The technology for painless childbirth is very mature now. Don't be afraid. Sheng Zhao comforted her. Then when the time comes, you have to accompany me to the delivery room. As the two of them were talking, Mu Qiqi suddenly hugged her stomach as if her body had been frozen. Sheng Zhao propped himself up, but she immediately grabbed Sheng Zhao's palm and placed it on her bulging abdomen. The baby is moving. Sheng Zhao and Tang Yan had discussed Mu Qiqi's fluctuating emotions. In the end, they agreed that women in the middle and late stages of pregnancy were almost like this. However, when she was in the forensics laboratory, she was as calm as usual. I really want her to come out earlier. That way, I can know if she's a boy or a girl, and if she looks like you or me. Sheng Zhao chatted with her like this every day. After coaxing her to sleep, he went to the study to continue working. Actually, this thing was very obedient most of the time, except that sometimes, it would let its imagination run wild. The rain in late autumn did not fall much, but the cold wind was bone-chilling. And on this night, a murder case and a traffic accident happened in Jianchuan. Because the accident happened in the jurisdiction of the branch office, Tang Yan had no choice but to leave home in the middle of the night. The deceased's surname was Liu, and he was a key figure in the rise of the old education industry in Jianchuan. Chapter 942. In the drizzle, Tang Yin was wearing a windbreaker. He squatted beside the corpse lying on the ground and carefully observed it. This person with the surname Liu had indeed died before the car accident. Captain Tang, Professor Tang is hospitalized. No one from the forensics team can come over now. Old Chung held a camera and said to Tang Yin, "Do you want junior sister Mu to come over and take a look?" Tang Yin stood up and glared at him. "Do you know that she's almost 8 months pregnant now? Then what should we do? There's only a mother with dementia at home. Without a nurse, how can he leave?" Old Chung sighed. "Why is our branch office so poor? Cut the crap. I'll go report the situation to the chief and send more people. You continue to investigate the scene." Tang Yin took out his phone and dialed a familiar number. Tang Yin stood in the rain. Although someone had given him an umbrella, he needed to remain calm at all times. If not, his heart would be at home. Feng Shanshan was about to give birth. He had once promised Feng Shanshan that he would be by her side when she gave birth. In addition, there was no one else at home. If anything happened to Feng Shanshan, he would never forgive himself for the rest of his life. Therefore, he called Mu Qiqi first. In the middle of the night, the people who answered the phone were naturally men, so Sheng Zhao's voice was heard. "What's the matter? There's no one at home. Can you bring Shanshan to the banyan courtyard to rest? I'll get fifth aunt to pick her up." Sheng Zhao answered very straightforwardly. After saying that, Sheng Zhao was about to hang up the phone, but Tang Yin stopped him. "Do you know the middle-aged man with the surname Liu? He's a famous person in the education world." "I do. Why?" Sheng Zhao lowered his voice and asked. "He's dead. He was killed. We don't know the cause of death yet. If you know anything, you can tell me." How smart was Tang Yin? What did Yashang Group do? In the education industry, in the past 3 months, the entire Jianchuan had witnessed the competition in the education industry. The former well-known education brand had recently made industrial adjustments, which had a huge impact on Yashang Group. 3 months later, the middle-aged man surnamed Liu died here. It was inevitable that people would think about it. After all, they were not curious at all that the Song family would do such a thing. "What I know is what you said just now," Sheng Zhao answered calmly, because he had been lowering his voice. "I understand. Thank you, Chief Sheng." With that, the two of them hung up. Then, Sheng Zhao took his phone and went out. Not only did he inform fifth aunt, but he also called Shin Jianchuan. "Dad, I got the latest news. Elder Liu has gone." After Shin Jianchuan heard the news, he sat up from the bed. "When did this happen?" "Not long ago. I'll go to the Liu family to understand the situation. We'll talk in detail tomorrow." Sheng Zhao put down his phone and went to the living room. 20 minutes later, fifth aunt supported the pot-bellied Feng Shanshan into the living room of the banyan courtyard. Fifth aunt, clean up the guest room. I might have to trouble you to stay here tonight. Sheng Xiao stood by the handrail on the second floor and ordered. All right, Mr. Sheng. Don't worry. Feng Shanshan knew that it was Tang Yan's idea to pick her up, so she did not refuse at all because she could not force herself now. She was due to give birth in a few days, and Tang Yan was not at home now. If anything happened to her, no one could call for help. Miss Feng, this way please. Fifth aunt happily led her to the guest room. Young madam is upstairs. She's sleeping soundly. You should rest early too. If you have abdominal pain, call me immediately. I'll sleep next to you. Fifth aunt, you can sleep on the bed with me. Feng Shanshan felt a little apologetic. After all, fifth aunt was already so old. It's fine. I'm healthy. After fifth aunt said that, she carried the quilt to the imperial concubine's couch. Feng Shanshan watched as fifth aunt lay down and closed her eyes. However, she could not calm down and rest. She kept feeling that something had happened. She did not know how Tang Yan was doing at the murder scene. The bureau chief called a forensic doctor over for Tang Yan, although it was already an hour later, and the rain was getting heavier. In order to maintain the first scene, the people from the branch office set up a canopy on the spot. The entire road was temporarily sealed off. The female forensic doctor squatted in front of the corpse and observed it for a while. Finally, she told Tang Yan, it was indeed not a car accident. I already have some clues, but I can't come to a conclusion yet. I need to conduct an autopsy, so after taking photos, send the corpse back to the laboratory. Thank you. Tang Yan did not even know what the other party's name was. He could only thank her briefly and continue investigating the traffic accident. If we want to figure out how this Lu died, we have to figure out his relationship with the driver. Now that the driver died on the spot, Old Cheng, give me a copy of the driver's information as soon as possible. Xiaolong, go and get the surveillance footage at the intersection to determine the cause of the car accident and whether it was an accident or man-made. Do these basic tasks for me. And that night, he knew that he basically did not need to rest. This was because this person with the surname Lu had been really famous recently. His sudden death would definitely cause rumors to fly everywhere again. If it was really done by their opponent, then the Song family was too brazen. From the incident to the next morning, the process of the car accident, including the identity of the driver, was all figured out. Captain Tang, this driver's name is Li Dong. He's a delivery driver. He's usually responsible for delivering frozen seafood and other ingredients to the mall. From the surveillance footage, the driver suddenly turned and accelerated. That's why he collided with him. And that's why Lu's body was thrown out of the car. From the surveillance footage, his expression was calm, and there wasn't a trace of panic. He probably didn't know that a body had been placed in his car. Who would swagger around and drive a van with a body in it, planning to deliver goods to someone else? Old Cheng told Tang Yin the information he had collected. The other driver of the car stepped on the accelerator by mistake when he turned the corner, causing him to accelerate. After a comprehensive analysis, the traffic accident was an accident. The driver has nothing to do with the education tycoon surnamed Lu. After Tang Yin heard this, he crossed his arms and said to Old Cheng, continue to the traffic control department and get the footage of the van. See when the body was placed in it. Okay. In that case, the traffic accident can be handed over to the traffic police to close the case. Xiaolong was quite happy. At least it was not related to the murder case, so he would have to do less useless work. I'll go get the autopsy report. Tang Yin looked at his watch and was about to go to the autopsy room when he was stopped by Xiaolong. Junior sister Shanshan should be giving birth, right? Captain Tang, shouldn't you go back and take a look? Chapter 943. Then the forensic doctor gave him an answer. This middle-aged man was strangled to death. Look at his neck. The groove is obvious, level, uniform, and there is no sign of emptying. The edge of the groove is neat, and the width is similar to that of a belt. Moreover, there are dandruff-like substances on his skin. Combined with the characteristics of his face, and the internal bleeding in his ears. This is a very typical death caused by mechanical asphyxia. So, you might have a lot of work to do next. Tang Yin could only shrug helplessly when he received the autopsy report. It was 7 o'clock in the morning. Mu Qiqi did not see her man since she woke up. Instead, she saw Feng Shanshan downstairs, who was eating breakfast. She was shocked. Then she understood why Feng Shanshan was here. Tang Yin went out to the field. He hasn't come back yet. Feng Shanshan pursed her lips and took a sip of milk. I wonder if he can be by my side when I give birth. He has always been a trustworthy person. He definitely won't go back on his word. Don't worry. After saying that, Mu Qiqi sat down at the dining table with her belly propped up. However, she felt very uneasy not seeing Sheng Xiao. Looking for your big CEO? He's out. Feng Shanshan saw her uneasiness and quickly answered. You really can't leave him at all. None of your business. Mu Qiqi snorted. Then, she patted her belly and said, Why do I feel that I'm 8 months older than you, who are almost 10 months old? I heard from the doctor that it's not easy to give birth when the child is too big. Mu Qiqi punched her. You're trying to scare me. Feng Shanshan immediately laughed. However, she only laughed a few times before she suddenly felt a wave of pain. Mu Qiqi looked at her rubbing her belly, and immediately rolled her eyes. Stop pretending. Mu Qiqi did not believe in her drama. I'm really in pain. Feng Shanshan leaned back in pain. It hurts so much. When Fifth Aunt heard her shout, she immediately rushed out of the kitchen. Mama Sheng followed behind her. When she saw Feng Shanshan's appearance, she immediately said, Send her to the hospital. She's about to give birth. Mu Qiqi immediately felt nervous. It was as if it was her turn to give birth. Soon, the ambulance arrived at the Banyan courtyard. Fifth Aunt and Mama Sheng followed. Mu Qiqi also wanted to go, but neither of them allowed it. Just stay at home and wait for the news. It's not convenient for us to take care of you with your big belly. Mu Qiqi struggled for a moment and finally nodded. All right, I'll call Captain Tang. He promised Shanshan that he would be by her side when she gives birth. Okay, don't worry. With that, Mama Sheng and Fifth Aunt followed her out. Mu Qiqi held her phone and searched for Tang Yan's number. However, the call was always busy. He probably couldn't get away from it. If you don't answer the phone, you'll miss your son's birth. Mu Qiqi had no choice but to call Sheng Xiao. Xiao Xiao, Shanshan has gone to the hospital. She's probably about to give birth, but I can't get through to Captain Tang. Can you help me inform him? I'm having a morning meeting, Sheng Xiao answered. All right then. With that, Mu Qiqi hung up the phone. Sheng Xiao took a deep breath and called Su Che in. He instructed him. Go to the branch office and look for Tang Yan. His son is about to be born. Su Che pointed at his own face in disbelief. Did he need to inform him about such a thing? After thinking for a while, Su Che turned around and immediately went to the parking lot to find his motorcycle. He then drove toward the Jianchuan branch office. In the hospital, Feng Shanshan was immediately sent to the delivery room to be examined by the doctor. However, the doctor only took a glance and said, The amniotic fluid has broken. Family members, don't come in. Fifth Aunt and Mama Sheng were not Feng Shanshan's family, so other than Tang Yan, they did not know who else to inform. Feng Shanshan endured the pain brought about by the contractions. There was only one thought in her mind. That man had promised her that he would be by her side when she gave birth. However, he probably couldn't get away from her now. The nurse was in the delivery room, making all kinds of preparations. Seeing Feng Shanshan's uneasy expression, she asked her, Is the husband here? Should I let him in? Feng Shanshan shook her head. He can't come. He's a criminal police officer. He took a mission last night. I see. Then you don't have to feel uneasy. The police are like this. Although they sometimes make us feel wronged, it's not that he doesn't love this family, right? The nurse comforted her. I'm also a police wife. I've given birth to 3 children, and my husband is catching criminals. However, this doesn't affect our relationship because I know that he has always been worried about me. You're the same. He must be worried about you too. So be strong. It's not a big deal. We'll help you. With the nurse's comfort, Feng Shanshan calmed down a little. Are you feeling better? Feng Shanshan nodded. All mothers are great. You're no exception. Tang Yin had just come out of the Lu family's home. The entire Lu family was in a state of grief, so the deceased son, Lu Zichen, cooperated with the police to make a statement. In short, the Lu family doesn't know why her husband and father are gone. Xiaolong looked at the statement helplessly. I'll go to the Lu family's education company again, Tang Yin said. However, when he remembered that Feng Shanshan was still in the Sheng family's home, he took the opportunity to call Feng Shanshan. However, Feng Shanshan's phone was in the guest room of the Sheng family, so no one answered. Originally, he wanted to call again at another time, but Su Che, who was riding his motorcycle, suddenly stopped in front of him and said, "Your wife is in the hospital." When Tang Yin heard these words, he turned around and left. Captain Tang? Captain Tang. Xiaolong quickly chased after him. What's wrong? You and old Cheng go to the Lu Corporation's company. I'll go to the hospital. After Tang Yin said that, he opened the car door. Xiaolong was stunned for a moment before he understood. This person is going to be a father, right? A single dog is really envious. After Tang Yin drove at full speed, he thought about his promise to Feng Shanshan. He said that he would be there when she gave birth. But now, he had no idea that his wife had been sent to the hospital. He blamed himself, and his emotions were very complicated. Heartache, guilt, and anticipation came together, making him panic and at a loss for what to do. Soon, he saw Mama Sheng and fifth aunt at the entrance of the hospital. He quickened his pace and rushed up to them. Auntie, where is Shanshan? You're finally here. Mama Sheng looked at Tang Yin and said, She's in the delivery room. She's been in there for a while. I don't know what's going on now. Go and ask the doctor if they're allowed to visit. Chapter 944. The doctor glanced at him and refused without thinking. No, because it's not a separate delivery room, so the family should try to wait outside. Doctor, just one side. Doctor, just one side. I'm a police officer. I didn't go home last night. My wife is about to give birth in the morning, and someone else called me. I'm still on duty, but I promised her that I'll be by her side when she gives birth. If I can't do that, I want to let her know that I'm here, okay? This was the most sincere request from a man, a husband, and a police officer. After the doctor heard this, he turned around and asked his assistant, Can you arrange it? After all, no one can reject such a husband. I'll go ask. The nurse immediately entered the delivery room. A moment later, the nurse walked out again. You can go in, but you only have 2 minutes. Is that okay? Enough. Tang Yin nodded immediately. Then I'll take you to disinfect and put on sterile clothes. The nurse immediately extended her hand to Tang Yin. This way, please. Soon, Tang Yin changed into sterile clothes and put on a mask. He was only waiting for the nurse to inform him. Finally, he entered the automatic door with an uneasy heart. Behind the door, Feng Shanshan was lying on the bed. Because of the pain, she was already sweating. Tang Yin immediately walked over and lay down in front of her. I'm here. Before Feng Shanshan could see the man's face clearly, she heard the 2 words. I'm here. The man's familiar body temperature and scent gradually made Feng Shanshan feel real. She didn't expect him to really come. Be strong. It's okay. Trust the doctor and nurse. I'll wait for you outside. It wasn't until Tang Yin straightened up that Feng Shanshan saw the man's face clearly. His face was filled with anxiety. He was also very nervous. Go out. There are other pregnant women here. I'm fine. Feng Shanshan was satisfied and regained her composure. Because this was not a separate delivery room, they had to care about others. Tang Yin nodded and leaned over to kiss her forehead again. Even if the baby is born, the most important thing in my heart will always be you. After saying that, Tang Yin let go of her hand and turned to leave the delivery room. Everything was worth it. Even if she had to endure the pain of childbirth, even if she had to endure all the hardships, with Tang Yan's words just now, she felt that everything was worth it. Your husband has already done better than most husbands, the doctor said in her ear. Happy pregnant woman, good luck. Outside the door, Tang Yan had already taken off his sterile clothes and stood with Mama Sheng and the others. Other than thanking them, he had nothing else to say. You're Jinchuan's godson-in-law, which means you're my godson-in-law. It doesn't matter if it's the Shen family or the Sheng family. We also know your situation. You don't have any other relatives at home. You just need to let us take care of her, Mama Sheng said to Tang Yan very gently. During this time, Tang Yan's phone rang nonstop. Go and pick it up. Tang Yan's heart was full of Feng Shanshan, so he was a little annoyed when he received a call from the police station. Even when his wife was giving birth, he couldn't have peace. Even so, he still picked up the phone. On the other end of the phone, Old Chung reported to him. Captain Tang, I got the surveillance footage from the traffic control department. I know when Lu Zhao's body was moved into the van. Go back to the station first. We'll talk when I come back, Tang Yan replied. Okay. Old Chung hung up. Tang Yan put down his phone. However, a few seconds later someone else called. Tang Yan had no choice but to hang up and call the chief directly. Chief, I'm asking for leave. The murder case is now critical. Why are you asking for leave? You're not allowed to sleep. The chief firmly rejected Tang Yan's request on the other end of the phone. My wife is giving birth. I don't have any relatives by my side. Tang Yan's voice was a little choked. Please take charge of the situation for the time being. The chief was stunned for a few seconds before he calmed down. Stay in the hospital and accompany your wife. I'll handle this. Thank you, chief. In the banyan courtyard, Mu Qiqi paced back and forth in the living room anxiously. She didn't know if Feng Shanshan had successfully given birth, or if Tang Yan had gone to the hospital. She wanted to call Mama Sheng, but she didn't want others to be distracted at this critical juncture. However, when it was almost noon, Sheng Xiao returned home from Zhongting, bringing with him a cold wind. Mu Qiqi quickly went over. Why are you back? They're all in the hospital. You need to take care of them too. Sheng Xiao put down his coat and changed into black slippers. Xiao Xiao, did Captain Tang go to the hospital? Mu Qiqi chased after him and asked. He's there, so it's not your turn to worry. Sheng Xiao helped her sit down on the sofa. That's good. Mu Qiqi finally heaved a sigh of relief. I really can't imagine how painful it will be to give birth. Sheng Xiao turned to look at her, and then at her bulging abdomen. It had been 8 months. There were still 2 more months. He should be the one who was nervous. It's not as exaggerated as you think. Don't scare yourself. I don't believe that you won't be nervous when the time comes. Mu Qiqi pierced through the man's calmness and hammered his chest again. After lunch, Mu Qiqi calmed down. Even though she was very anxious, she couldn't resist the sudden sleepiness. She could only go back to her room and lie down. She instructed Sheng Xiao to inform her immediately if there was any news of Feng Shanshan. A moment later, Shen Jianchuan arrived at the Shen family's home. The father-in-law and son-in-law went to the study. I went to the Lu family to find out about the situation. Lu Zhao disappeared after work that night. No one knows where he went. I'm afraid we'll have to wait for the police to investigate. Who will be in charge of the Lu family in the future? Sheng Xiao sat on the chair and continued to ask. His son Lu Zichen. Shen Jianchuan frowned and answered. This kid is very capable. He doesn't lose to his father at all. However, what I'm afraid of is that if this matter has something to do with the Song family, then Lu Zichen might become the Song family's next target. If this matter really has something to do with the Song family, I'll go see him, Sheng Xiao said seriously as he looked at his father-in-law. If this was caused by the Song family, then he was also responsible for Lu Zhao's death. Eighth brother, this has nothing to do with you. That's settled then. Shen Jianchuan nodded and didn't say anything else. After all, this wasn't what he wanted to see. If this was really the Song family's doing, then he had to make the Song family pay with their blood. At 12:30 p.m. With a loud cry, Feng Shanshan and Tang Yan's child was finally born. As Song Qiaoji had expected, it was a little boy. The child was quickly carried out by the nurse. Mama Sheng and fifth aunt quickly went up to him. However, Tang Yan kept poking his head into the delivery room, because he was most concerned about Feng Shanshan's condition. Chapter 945. Tang Yin nodded, but he still did not look at the child. When Feng Shanshan was pushed out, he quickly went forward. Are you alright? It's been hard on you. Feng Shanshan was too tired. Because it was her first child, it took her a few hours to give birth to this thing. She was surprised and comforted to see Tang Yin. You're a father now. I won't give birth in the future. I don't need any excitement. I just need a child. I don't want to torture you. Tang Yin said as he touched Feng Shanshan's forehead. I'm fine. I'm really fine. Soon, Feng Shanshan was pushed into the ward, and the child was placed next to her. Feng Shanshan tilted her head to look at the soft little thing, and was very surprised. It was still in her stomach yesterday, but it had already come out today. He had finally come to this world. This was her and Tang Yan's child. Xiao Tang hugged the child and let him familiarize himself with daddy's scent. Mama Sheng looked at the child and said happily, as if she really had a grandson. I don't know how. Tang Yin was afraid that he would hurt the child if he was too strong. I'll teach you. Feng Shanshan lay on the bed and watched Tang Yin being tortured by Mama Sheng and Mama Sheng. She felt that the scene was very funny, but at the same time, it was also very warm. However, soon the chief called again. It's time to return. Feng Shanshan saw him holding his phone and putting it down again. She knew that he was still on a mission, so she said to him, You can go. There are doctors and nurses here. Fifth aunt and auntie are also here. Are you really fine? The earlier you solve the case, the earlier you can go home and hug your son. Feng Shanshan was not pretentious at all. When they first got together, she knew what kind of man she had followed. Then have a good rest. Remember to call me if there's anything. With that, Tang Yin handed his son to fifth aunt and bowed to Mama Sheng and fifth aunt. Sorry to trouble you. Go. Mama Sheng waved her hand. When you come back, remember to give your child a nice name. 3 o'clock in the afternoon at the Song family. Seeing Lu Zhao's death being broadcasted on the news, Song Jiang watched the television while celebrating with his friends. I want to see who else wants to block the Song family's path to wealth. Old Song, don't forget that he still has a son, Song Jiang's friend reminded him. This person was the Uncle Rong that Song Buoji had mentioned. He was ruthless and had no bottom line. Therefore, compared to his biological father, Song Buoji was more afraid of Uncle Rong. What's wrong with a son? With you by my side, what's there to be afraid of? Song Jiang didn't think much of it. I have you. I won't even be afraid of Sheng Xiao. You just have to trust me, the man with the surname Rong boasted. As long as it's something that you want to achieve, I will help you achieve it. What about Sheng Xiao? Give me some time. Song Buoji was outside the door. When he heard the conversation between the two old men, he did not enter the living room, because he felt that he was getting more and more crazy. At the same time, Mu Qiqi was woken up by Sheng Xiao. Their son had been born. Mu Qiqi was very excited to hear that. Then can I go to the hospital to see them tonight? Mu Qiqi's face was full of anticipation. Thinking about it, her best friend had become a mother, and she would be the next. Now, she had a stomach full of questions waiting to ask Feng Shanshan. However, Sheng Xiao directly rejected her request. No. Why? Feng Shanshan just gave birth and needs to rest. If you go and chatter, how will others rest? Mu Qiqi was very troubled by this. After she got pregnant, she did talk a lot, but she did not expect this man to dislike her to this extent. I just want to get some encouragement to comfort myself. When I give birth, I don't have to be afraid. Your due date is still more than 2 months away. You can ask at any time. Did something happen outside again? Mu Qiqi suddenly asked Sheng Xiao sensitively. A competitor of Yashang Group died in a van last night. Sheng Xiao did not hide anything from her, and told her the truth. After Mu Qiqi heard this, she calmed down. I'm not going, but are you sure it's the Song family's doing? We need Tang Yin to give us an answer. I'll go out in a while. When Dad comes back, you should sleep early. With that, Sheng Xiao got up from the bed. Mu Qiqi suddenly grabbed his arm and asked, How did that person die? Was it the same as by Cindy's case? He was strangled to death. It was simple and crude, without so much elaborate planning. This meant that the Song family was more direct and disregarded life even more. Okay, go and come back early, but you must bring Su Che with you, Mu Chichi instructed. She could tell the situation clearly. She could call Feng Shanshan, but she did not have to go out. Don't think too much. There's no conclusion yet. Sheng Xiao saw her ugly expression and reached out to rub her forehead. Go and do your work. Don't worry about me. Mu Chichi let go of Sheng Xiao's arm and took out her phone. Since she could not go out, she could only call Feng Shanshan. A pregnant woman and a pregnant woman began to exchange all kinds of experiences on the phone. When Sheng Xiao saw this, he went out with ease. He and Xin Jianchuan were going to the Lu family. The Lu family was in a state of grief. Lu Zhao's wife was still bedridden. The person who came out to welcome the two of them was Lu Zhao's son, Lu Zichen. Lu Zichen had always known that there was someone supporting him, but when he saw Sheng Xiao, he was still a little surprised. I'm sorry about your father's death. What does this have to do with CEO Sheng? When the Lu family was in debt and unable to operate, it was you who helped us from behind. That's why the Lu family is where it is today. If you hadn't helped us at that time, my mother and wife would have died of illness long ago. At that time, my mother and wife were waiting for life-saving money. Lu Zichen did not resent Sheng Xiao at all. My father told me that our opponent this time is very fierce, but he still made this decision to protect our family. So, CEO Sheng, you don't have to feel guilty. This is my father's choice, and it's also the path I will defend, Lu Zichen said firmly and seriously. Although my father is no longer here, his spirit will always remain in my heart. Don't worry, I won't go to extremes. I believe that the police will give us an answer. Moreover, I will never give up on fighting against Yashang Group. That kind of educational institution that disregards human life should not exist in this world. Sheng Xiao felt that it was useless to say anything else at this moment. There were only a few words that were the most powerful. I will give your father justice. Chapter 946. After coming out of the Lu family, Sheng Xiao remained silent. When Xin Jianchuan saw this, he patted his shoulder and said, "Eighth brother, you're not a god. There's no need for you to bear such a heavy burden." No, I'm just thinking about something. This time, the Song family's way of doing things is very different from before. I suspect that Song Jiang has recruited some extreme helpers. Sheng Xiao answered Xin Jianchuan seriously after getting into the car. It's only been quiet for 3 months. If Song Jiang really uses an even more extreme method to make a comeback, I wonder how many people will suffer. The Xin family doesn't matter, but I'm afraid that a good person like Lu Zhao will be implicated. Therefore, Xin Jianchuan frowned deeply and looked at Sheng Xiao. Eighth brother, we have to be heavy-handed. Sheng Xiao nodded slightly. It seemed that using time to deal with the Song family was not going to work. I'll see the results of Tang Yan's case first. The two of them left the Lu family and returned home. Sheng Xiao did not expect Mu Chichi to still be waiting at home. Why aren't you sleeping yet? Are you going to meet the family of the deceased? Mu Chichi sat on the bed and asked Sheng Xiao. Sheng Xiao stopped taking off his trench coat. After a second he nodded. It's not a good thing to be too smart. You've already made it so clear in the afternoon. If I still can't tell, I'll have been your woman for so long. Do you have any leads on the murderer? Mu Chichi lifted the blanket and wanted to get out of bed, but Sheng Xiao stopped her. It's cold down there. My body is mine. I know if it's cold or not. Sheng Xiao did not stop her. He sat down on the sofa and replied, waiting for news from Tang Yan. Then hurry up and take a shower. Your body is cold. I don't even want to hug you. Mu Chichi stood in the distance in disgust. Sheng Xiao got up and walked to the bathroom. Mu Chichi took the opportunity to call Tang Yan. On the phone, Tang Yan sounded very tired. He had not rested since last night. It was because the higher-ups were in a hurry to solve the case. Captain Tang, what's the situation now? When Tang Yan heard Mu Chichi's voice, he thought that he had heard wrongly. He took out his phone and looked at the number again. After confirming that it was Mu Chichi's, he said, other than knowing that the body was dumped from a small alley, there is no other progress. The alley leads to rows of demolished houses. and there are no surveillance cameras along the way. The person who dumped the body was a man in his 40s, wearing a mask and a hat. Other than that, there is no other information. Where's the corpse? The cause of death was asphyxiation. There were no other injuries on the body. The tool used was a belt, but we've already checked it. The murderer must have grabbed such a tool as an aid, because it contained a lot of bacteria, and not sweat. We have to find out. Muchichi was a little anxious. Can I see the body? Your family members will agree to it. Muchichi was about to answer when Sheng Xiao snatched her phone away. However, Sheng Xiao answered Tang Yin directly. I don't agree. Sheng Xiao, you believe in my professionalism. I want to help you. No, I want to help myself. I want to help the Shen family. Sheng Xiao looked down at her and finally answered Tang Yin. I'll send her to the branch office in half an hour. Then he returned the phone to Muchichi. You can always get yourself involved in all kinds of dangerous situations. What if I really help Captain Tang? Sheng Xiao took the opportunity to hold Muchichi's neck and snorted. I'll call you Daddy. It's a deal. A few minutes later, the two of them packed up and went downstairs. For safety reasons, Sheng Xiao did not let Su Che get off work. He even had to be their driver. Muchichi saw Su Che yawning in the rearview mirror. She tugged at Sheng Xiao's arm. Xiao Xiao, have you been enslaving Su Che for too long every day? Sheng Xiao glanced at the back of Su Che's head and said lightly, I'll give you a day off tomorrow. Have a good rest. When Su Che heard that he was taking a day off, he immediately became energetic. Muchichi couldn't help but laugh when she saw that. She asked, what do you do during the holidays? Su Che thought about it. Ever since he started following Sheng Xiao, he rarely had free time. Even in the middle of the night, he was called by Sheng Xiao to be his driver. A blind date. My uncle arranged a blind date for me. Muchichi smiled even more happily and poked Sheng Xiao's chest. You should at least care about your subordinate's physical and mental harmony. Sheng Xiao frowned. Did he need it? Soon, the three of them arrived at the branch office. At that time, Old Cheng was waiting at the door. When he saw Muchichi, he immediately beamed. You're finally here. Where's the professor? Muchichi followed Old Cheng and walked quickly to the autopsy room. The professor is performing gallstone surgery. The forensics department has lost its backbone. The chief even transferred a female forensic doctor over from outside. But I always feel that her work is not as meticulous as yours. Where's Captain Tang? Muchichi continued to ask. He's in a meeting. Thinking about it, he's really miserable. He just became a father today, and he can't stay at home with his wife and child. He still has to waste his time here. I feel so wronged. Old Cheng explained as he opened the door for her. Are you okay? I'm strong. Muchichi made a gesture to show off her muscles. Then, she walked to the dissection table. Old Cheng, you go out first. It's fine as long as you're not afraid. Old Cheng was a big man, but even he felt creeped out by staying in such a place. Hurry up and go out. Muchichi was already chasing him away. Old Cheng walked out of the autopsy room and saw Sheng Xiao and Su Che sitting in the lounge. He naturally respected these two people very much. He quickly greeted them and went to the meeting room. Chi-Chi is here? Tang Yin asked as he flipped through the information. Yes, she chased me out the moment she arrived. Old Cheng shrugged. Tang Yin lowered his head again and muttered, I hope she can give me something different and open up my mind. She definitely can. I've never seen anyone more meticulous than little junior sister. In terms of professionalism, everyone recognized Muchichi. Although she was only a student and had even dropped out of school, the experience she had accumulated over the past year had also allowed people to see her strengths. Of course, she could not find another flower in the autopsy, but she could see a lot of things that others could not. Well, CEO Sheng is outside. Captain Tang. Do you want to go and greet him? Tang Yin put down the information in his hand and walked to the lounge. When he saw Sheng Xiao sitting on the sofa, he asked, How much does CEO Sheng know about the Lu family? It's a veteran education company that has risen in the past 3 months. I supported it. Sheng Xiao answered without hesitation. To fight against Yashang Group. Chapter 947. What right do you have to educate me? I'm a father today. There was a hint of pride in Tang Yan's expression. Sheng Xiao just couldn't surpass him in this regard. He had no choice. Solve the case as soon as possible. Don't always drag my chi or out to help. The two men were sitting in the lounge chatting when old Cheng suddenly called out to Tang Yan. Captain Tang, Chi found something. When Tang Yan heard that, he immediately got up from the sofa. That's why I dragged her here. After saying that, Tang Yan quickly walked toward the autopsy room. What did you find? Mu Chi took off the button on Lu Zhao's shirt and handed it to Tang Yan. Take a closer look. Tang Yan took a magnifying glass and immediately found that there were many scratches on the blue button. This is the second button on Lu Zhao's suit. In other words, it's about his abdomen. Because Lu Zhao has a beer belly, the scratches on this button are very deep, while the scratches on the other buttons are very shallow. I think the forensic doctor probably thought that these scratches were the lines on the button. But Captain Tang, turn it over and take a look. Tang Yan flipped the button and found that there was some powder around the black thread. What is this? This isn't an ordinary latex paint. It's a new type of environmentally friendly decoration material, diatomaceous mud. Mu Chi explained as she supported herself on the autopsy table. This kind of paint originally came from diatomaceous earth. It's deposited from a type of diatomaceous algae in the ocean. It's pure, natural, and pollution-free. Now, whether it's home decoration or work equipment, it's widely used. Of course, this kind of thing also has a characteristic, and that is that it's expensive. Ordinary families probably don't know much about this kind of material, or they can't afford to use it. Diatomaceous mud, Tang Yan muttered. In addition, I carefully tested the composition of Lu Zhao's clothes and found traces of diatomaceous mud, but only a small amount. Mu Chi handed the clothes to Tang Yan and said, So, according to my analysis, Lu Zhao was pressed against a wall decorated with diatomaceous mud and strangled from behind. In other words, there must be traces of friction between the button and the wall on that wall. After listening to Mu Chi's analysis, Tang Yan immediately thought of the information they already had. If you enter the alley, it's a demolished house that has already been vacated. Old Cheng immediately informed the entire team to check the entire demolition house area at the back of the alley. Once you find a wall decorated with diatom mud, immediately mark it, because that might be the first scene. When old Cheng heard that, he was instantly very excited. As expected, junior sister Chi, I'll give you a thumbs up. Tang Yan heaved a sigh of relief. I feel like we'll get a lot of rewards if we go there. Chi, you've done something good again. Let's talk about it after we find it. I'm just curious why someone of Lu Zhao's status would go to such a place. Mu Chi raised her doubts. However, I believe that once we find the first scene, many mysteries will be easily solved. Go back and rest. Tang Yan patted her shoulder. Mu Chi nodded, took off her gloves and put them by the sink. I'll go see Shanshan later. I've let them down. I believe Shanshan won't blame you. After saying that, Mu Chi walked out of the autopsy room and returned to Sheng Zhao's side. She stuck out her belly and whispered into his ear. I'll wait for you to call me daddy. Sheng Zhao looked at the little one's expression and knew that she had gained something. Therefore, he did not care about the occasion and seductively whispered 2 words into the little one's ear. Daddy. Mu Chi's face instantly turned red. Her ears were red and perky, and it was so numb that it gave people goosebumps. Are you satisfied? Mu Chi was afraid that others would see her blush, so she quickly grabbed Sheng Zhao's hand and said, Let's go. Send me to the hospital. Since she was already out, she could take the opportunity to see the pregnant woman. Moreover, Mama Sheng and fifth aunt were in the hospital now, but her friend was hers. She felt very sorry. Sheng Zhao hugged her and looked at the little one with a gentle smile. It seemed that he really could not underestimate this little one's ability. Soon the police were dispatched. Tang Yan personally led the team and went to the pitch-black demolition house at 10 o'clock in the night. Without any results, no one could rest that night. Mu Chi also arrived at the hospital with Sheng Zhao accompanying her. In the ward, Feng Shanshan was feeding the baby. so Sheng Xiao was waiting outside the door. Feng Shanshan was a little surprised to see Mu Qiqi. What time is it? Aren't you sleeping? I've already unloaded the goods. It's still early for you. You're not obedient. I went to the forensics laboratory, so I came to see you. Mu Qiqi leaned over and saw the babbling little baby in her arms. She was instantly confused by how cute he was. Isn't he too cute? Has he been named? Tang Yin hasn't had the time to name him. At this point, Feng Shanshan could not hide her disappointment. But after a moment she adjusted herself. It's okay. He should be resting tomorrow, right? He will definitely be able to rest tomorrow. Mu Qiqi pinched the little baby's face and did not dare to be too harsh. I really envy you. You've already passed this hurdle. I still have to wait for 2 more months. It's not as scary as you think. By the way, call Auntie and Fifth Aunt back. There are doctors and nurses here. Tang Yan's aunt is also here. Okay, Fifth Aunt will come and help tomorrow. After Mu Qiqi said that, she pinched the little fatty's face again. He's really too obedient. Yours will be coming soon. You don't have to envy me. Mu Qiqi looked down at her abdomen and smiled. Then have a good rest tonight. It's almost time for me to leave. Let's go. A woman who had given birth looked different. It was as if she had transformed in an instant. Mu Qiqi looked at Feng Shanshan and thought of herself in the near future. Perhaps it would be the same. Sheng Xiao was still waiting at the door. Mu Qiqi quickly got up and walked to the door. Master Xiao, let's go. It's just that their baby is too obedient. I'm so envious. Master Xiao hugged her shoulder and snorted. He's not as obedient as us. On the other side, Tang Yan's team was still working on the case. Just when everyone was exhausted, Officer Long suddenly shouted, Captain Tang, is this the diatom mud? The house in front was a 3-bedroom house. Everyone looked at the flashlight and then saw the yellow decorative wall. From now on, don't touch anything inside. Old Chung informed the forensics team to move out. That's great. We can sleep tonight. Old Chung sighed happily. What sleep? If the forensics team can't confirm that this is the place we're looking for, we have to continue. Tang Yin rubbed the space between his eyebrows and was a little irritated. I'll definitely find this murderer. I'll let him go to heaven or hell. Chapter 948. Due to the lack of manpower in the forensics department, the chief borrowed a group of people from another team. Everyone started working in the middle of the night and started a detective investigation in the 3-bedroom house. In a short while, they made a new discovery. Captain Tang, is this the mark you're looking for? The mark of the friction of a button? At the entrance, the forensic doctor found some suspicious scratches. Tang Yin bent down to take a look with the flashlight, and then heaved a sigh of relief. This is the first scene. Everyone, don't destroy anything at the scene now. Captain Tang, there's a new discovery. There were footprints in the bathroom. Extract physical evidence and test the luminol reaction. As long as there was a breakthrough, the possibility of solving the case would be very high. Everyone busied themselves in the demolition house for another 2 hours. Finally, all the physical evidence was collected. After that, the group of people left the demolition house. Tang Yin walked at the front and said to the field team, Old Chung, bring the physical evidence back. Test what needs to be tested and verify what needs to be verified. We'll have a meeting at 7 tomorrow morning. The rest of you change shifts and rest. Got it, Captain Tang. Song Jiang would never have thought that Tang Yin would find a lot of evidence this time. He would not allow him to fool around like he did with Bicini's cases. 3 o'clock in the morning. Tang Yin drove to the hospital. He thought that Feng Shanshan and the baby would be asleep. However, through the glass of the ward, Tang Yin saw that Feng Shanshan was still breastfeeding the baby. She leaned against the wall with her head tilted tiredly. It was obvious that she was extremely sleepy. No one told him that it was not just hard for a woman to be pregnant. After giving birth, she thought that she would not be tortured anymore. In fact, this was the beginning of the torture. A newborn child had to drink milk every few hours. Although the mother's milk was swollen, she could still suck it out to store it. However, the baby was so young. As a biological mother, The mother could not abandon it. Tang Yin looked at it for a while, gently pushed the door open and walked in. Seeing that Feng Shanshan showed no signs of waking up, he reached out to support Feng Shanshan's head. The little thing in her arms might have seen its father appear, so it forgot to drink milk. It opened its eyes wide and looked at Tang Yin. Suddenly, the pain in her chest disappeared. Feng Shanshan opened her eyes with difficulty. Seeing that Tang Yin was right in front of her, she tried to adjust her posture. "Are you done? I've already talked to the nurse and found a responsible confinement nanny for you. She'll come to help you tomorrow." Tang Yin combed Feng Shanshan's hair and said, "I gained a lot tonight, so I can rest for now. I have a meeting at 7 tomorrow morning. Then sleep for a while." Feng Shanshan knew that this man had not rested for 2 days. He worked day and night to solve the case, but he still had to worry about the mother and son. Thinking about it, Feng Shanshan did not feel good. "I'm not tired. Let me hold the baby for a while. You can sleep for a while." Tang Yin looked at the little guy in Feng Shanshan's arms and said, "You haven't named it yet. Uncle told me that when naming a child, you have to look at the layout. Yishuan Tang Yishuan." Tang Yin carefully took the child from Feng Shanshan's arms. Such a small ball was the crystallization of him and Feng Shanshan. "Go to sleep for a while. Then I'll sleep for an hour, and then you." Feng Shanshan lay down. Tang Yin nodded and gently rocked the child to coax him. After Feng Shanshan fell asleep, he put the baby down. He placed it between him and Feng Shanshan. In fact, Feng Shanshan was not really asleep. She secretly opened her eyes and saw Tang Yin leaning against the head of the bed. He had fallen asleep just like that, and he was sleeping very soundly. He was clearly extremely tired, but he still had to think about the mother and son. Thinking about it, Feng Shanshan's eyes suddenly turned red. Everything was worth it. The next morning, Tang Yin waited until the confinement nanny came before leaving. When he arrived at the station, all the clues found in the demolition house last night were put together. The group of people quickly entered the meeting room, as if they were on steroids. "Captain Tang, according to the test report, the friction marks left on the diatom mud wall were indeed caused by the buttons on Lu Zhao's body. The test results are consistent." Officer Long was the first to speak. "So the demolition house is the first crime scene. At the crime scene, we found a total of 3 sets of footprints. We took them to compare. One of them was a shoe size 40, which matched Lu Zhao's. The other was a shoe size 36, which was a woman's footprint. The last shoe size 42 should have been left by the murderer. In addition, we also found the murder weapon in the trash at the scene. It was a man's belt with the deceased's fingerprints on it. The most important thing is this." Old Chung took out an evidence bag and handed it to Tang Yin. "This cigarette, but was found behind the trash can in the bathroom. We went to find out about the owner of the house. The owner is a woman and doesn't smoke. Moreover, this cigarette butt is still fresh, so we suspect that it might have been left behind by the murderer. The DNA on it is still being tested." "Okay, now increase the intensity of the investigation. According to the shoe size, Old Chung, go and ask the people around to see if anyone has seen a man who is about 170 to 180 centimeters tall, weighs about 65 kilograms, and is wearing a mask." Xiao Long continued to lead the team to the demolition house. With the first scene as the center, see if there are any traces of the murderer around. At the meeting, Tang Yin assigned tasks. "I'll go visit the nearby tobacco and wine shops and see if the bosses still remember someone who came to buy this kind of cigarette." He believed that as long as there was a direction to investigate, the truth would only get closer and closer. On this day, there were several invitations on Sheng Zhao's desk. Because it was almost the end of the year, there were more and more banquets at the Chamber of Commerce. He would attend a few of his friends' banquets, but the Song family might also attend. Thinking of this, Sheng Zhao stopped his work and called Tang Yin to ask about the progress. "How's it going now? I've already caught the murderer's feet. If you need any help, just let me know." Now, Sheng Zhao was helping the Lu family stabilize the situation. Because Lu Zhao was no longer around, Lu Zichen still needed time to adapt to taking over. However, He also understood the fierce gaze the Song family had on Lu Zichen. If the Song family wanted to eliminate the roots, then the murderer who killed Lu Zhao might commit another crime and take Lu Zichen's life. Therefore, Sheng Xiao got someone to follow Lu Zichen. In the evening, Sheng Xiao attended a friend's banquet. He did not bring any female companions with him. During the banquet, he also saw Song Buoji. Chapter 949. CEO Sheng is leaving just like that. Sheng Xiao adjusted his black coat and did not reply to Song Buoji. How did I offend CEO Sheng again? I just want to communicate with people. After all, I can't compare to your Song family's madness. You know better than me why Lu Zhao died. Don't you think it's boring to turn Jianchuan into a bloody mess? Sheng Xiao asked Song Buoji. If you play with human lives, you have to pay the price with human lives. However, I don't think the lives of the Song family are that valuable. I hope your Song family can afford the result of your madness. With that, Sheng Xiao walked around Song Buoji and left with Su Che. As expected, Song Buoji looked at Sheng Xiao's back and sneered. It was difficult for the Song family's little tricks to hide from Sheng Xiao, let alone such a big commotion this time. Song Buoji looked at Sheng Xiao's back as he left with a meaningful gaze. In the past, Song Jiang had been extremely secretive and planned with those women. But now, he was so brazen that everyone knew that it was the Song family who had done it. This was probably what people said. If God wanted to destroy a person, he would first make him crazy. According to Song Jiang's way of playing, his cards would not be enough to play for 2 or 3 years. With Sheng Xiao's opponents jumping around, the more calm he was, the more likely it would not be long before Song Buoji felt that he would have to collect his father's corpse. After the cocktail party ended, Song Buoji received news that Zhongting fully supported the Lu family's development. Moreover, Sheng Xiao directly said that he would protect Lu Zichen. This was the first time Sheng Xiao had responded to the Song family's provocation so many times. And the moment he responded, he revealed a big piece of news. This was because Sheng Xiao was hinting that Lu Zhao's death was related to the Song family. Thinking about the lives of Chongrong Electronics, the outside world had a tacit understanding. The Song family was definitely not a decent businessman, because it involved human lives. Lu Zichen was placed in the spotlight just like that. Who else would dare to make a move? Sheng Xiao did not believe it. Song Jiang quickly received the news. Previously, the Song family had provoked him so much, but Sheng Xiao did not express anything on the surface. Therefore, Song Jiang had always been testing Sheng Xiao's bottom line. This time, Sheng Xiao had directly expressed his stance. He could not do anything to Sheng Xiao for a while. No, it was not the first time he had run into a wall in front of Sheng Xiao. Old Rong, it looks like we won't be able to touch the rest of the Lu clan for a while, right? No, we have to move to prove that this has nothing to do with us. The man sitting next to Song Jiang had a deep smile on his face. The police are investigating very closely. However, even if they find out, it's useless because I've already found a scapegoat. The older the wiser. Song Jiang was very satisfied with this result. This time, Song Buoji was still outside the door, listening to the two old things' crazy discussion. However, this time, Song Jiang noticed the shadow on the ground. Buoji, why are you standing at the door? Come in. After Song Buoji heard this, he walked in and showed a rare respect. Dad, Uncle Rong. Buoji, you're your father's hope. Cheer up. Don't be afraid. Uncle Rong is planning everything for you. Song Buoji was indeed playful and ruthless. However, he felt that the two of them had been playing with fire recently. Right now he was thinking about whether he should protect himself or not. What did the hatred from more than 20 years ago have to do with him? Dad, I think you're too impatient. Right now the whole city is pointing at the Song family. Shouldn't we not expose ourselves so thoroughly? What do you know, child? This way, we can deter those who don't obey us. At the same time, we can also see how many people are willing to stand on our Song family's side. Song Buoji almost rolled his eyes. This was already a society ruled by law. They could still wander in the gray area by doing dirty things behind their backs. Why were they so brazen now? No wonder the Song family, was about to be wiped out 25 years ago. Child, with your Uncle Rong here, just wait for the show. Since the two of them were so stubborn, he wouldn't be the lobbyist. Although he was the one who suggested inviting Uncle Rong back, he deeply felt that power had changed people beyond recognition. Tang Yan's side had made great progress. After the efforts of several parties, they had successfully locked onto the suspect. He was a single man in his early 40s. However, at the same time, Feng Shanshan stayed in the hospital and felt that someone was watching her. After all, she had been a forensic assistant for a long time. Feng Shanshan had this sensitivity. She was afraid that someone was seeking revenge, so she called Tang Yan. The person who was seeking revenge had already been killed on the spot. If he could still appear around Feng Shanshan, he might be the murderer of the Lu Zhao case. Therefore, Tang Yin immediately sent Xiaolong over to guard Feng Shanshan's ward in plain clothes. After Xiaolong was in place, Feng Shanshan was relieved and took care of the baby in peace. This was a hospital, and people came and went. Even at night, there were many doctors and nurses. She was rarely alone. If this person was here to seek revenge on Tang Yin, then it would be even better. At least, this person would not stab Tang Yin when he was handling the case. Xiaolong could tell that Feng Shanshan was very brave. As the wife of a police officer, she was very conscious. At night, Tang Yin went to take over Xiaolong's shift. When he saw his wife and child, he hugged them tightly. I will do my best to protect you and your child. I'm not afraid, Feng Shanshan replied. Feng Shanshan replied, I've long been prepared to face danger when I'm with you. But you know that I don't like to be threatened. So when the time comes, no matter what choice I make, you have to believe me. Of course. I hope that I'll never meet such a day. We'll go home tomorrow. Tang Yin kissed Feng Shanshan's forehead. I'll be more at ease with you at home. Got it. Go and do your work. You really don't have to worry about me. Tang Yin glanced at Feng Shanshan and kissed his son's head. Then he told the confinement nanny to take good care of Feng Shanshan. After leaving the hospital, Tang Yin went straight to the hospital's surveillance cameras. He wanted to confirm if the murderer had really appeared around the hospital. However, he did not expect to find the man wearing a mask in the hospital's surveillance cameras. When Xiaolong saw it, he was so scared that he broke out in a cold sweat. To think that junior sister Shanshan was so calm. Is the murderer here to show off? Is he really not afraid of being caught? Because of Xiaolong's words, Tang Yin suddenly frowned. Throwing the body in the van was a provocative act in itself. Now that the murderer had openly appeared here, other than provocation, there was another possibility. It was to divert the police's attention. Chapter 950. That woman with size 36 shoes. She was the real murderer. And everything else was set up by someone. In addition to diverting the police's attention, it was also to stall for time. This way, the murderer could achieve his goal of toying with the police. Xiaolong, continue to guard here and protect Shanshan. I'll go back to the station first. Tang Yin suddenly turned to Xiaolong. But Captain Tang, I'm afraid. I can't protect junior sister Shanshan. You just need to make sure that strangers can't get close to the ward. Pretend that you don't know that the suspect is around. After Tang Yin said that, he patted Xiaolong's shoulder. I'll go find the real murderer. Captain Tang, are you saying that this man isn't the real murderer? Tang Yin did not say anything and left the hospital as fast as he could. When he returned to the station, he called Mu Qiqi. Qiqi, I have something very important to ask you now. How tall is Lu Zhao? About 170 centimeters. But the strangulation marks on his neck are slanted from the center of his neck to both sides. What does this mean? The murderer isn't as tall as the deceased, Mu Qiqi answered seriously. But we can't rule out the possibility that the murderer might have set up a trap, because such an injury is easy to fake. At the first scene, we also found a set of footprints of a woman. She was between 145 and 160 centimeters tall. Tang Yin explained the reason for his question. After Mu Qiqi heard this, she quickly continued. Lu Zhao is a man. Although he's already middle-aged, he's still healthy. To strangle him to death without any struggle We didn't consider a woman, but we can't rule out the possibility that the woman is a fitness enthusiast, or that she knows boxing and fighting skills. My suggestion is, Captain Tang, you can go to the scene again. With a new perspective, you will definitely gain a lot. Of course, if you can bring me along, that would be even better. When Tang Yen heard her last sentence, he rejected it without thinking. Your family will never agree this time. Mu Qiqi put down her phone and secretly looked at Sheng Xiao, who was sitting at the side reading documents. He was serious, and had no intention of looking at her at all. He was busy. Xiao Xiao, Captain Tang has something to tell you. Mu Qiqi took the opportunity to throw the problem to Tang Yen. Sheng Xiao looked up at Mu Qiqi. Instead of answering the call, he asked her directly, "Do you think I'm deaf? I heard everything you said just now." Mu Qiqi was stunned for a moment. She felt that she was really stupid when she was pregnant. There are new developments in the case. You also want to solve Lu Zhao's case as soon as possible, right? You're 8 months pregnant. With you and Captain Tang here. Mu Qiqi said seriously, "It's not that I have to work on this case, but I want to contribute. The Song family is now attacking the people around us. Soon it will be our turn." Sheng Xiao put down the document, crossed his legs and looked at her. After a few seconds of silence, he reached out to Mu Qiqi. "Give me your phone." Mu Qiqi obediently handed the phone over. Sheng Xiao got up and walked to the window to talk to Tang Yen for a while. Then, he returned to his seat and returned the phone to Mu Qiqi. "Don't force yourself." "Never." Mu Qiqi raised her hand and swore. However, Sheng Xiao did not believe her at all. "It's really useless to see you swear." Even so, Sheng Xiao still brought Mu Qiqi, who was wrapped tightly, out the door. On the way, Mu Qiqi looked at Sheng Xiao's side profile. His eyes flickered in the mottled light. "Although you didn't say anything, I know that you've taken responsibility for Lu Zhao's death. In your heart, you want to catch this murderer as soon as possible and give the Lu family justice more than anyone else. Your public statement in support of the Lu family is the best evidence. Xiao Xiao, I don't have to put myself in danger. I just feel that I can really help with this matter. That's why I asked you to bring me out. This is my domain. Let me protect you. Is that okay?" After hearing Mu Qiqi's words, Sheng Xiao suddenly laughed. "Then you have to protect me. You little thing who doesn't know the immensity of heaven and earth. You're looking down on me." Regardless of whether Mu Qiqi had the ability to do so or not, Sheng Xiao felt that the fact that she could say such words had convinced him. Soon, the three of them gathered at the scene of the murder. As they were in a demolition building, there was no electricity, so Tang Yen prepared a flashlight for the two of them. "It's very messy here. Please protect Mu Qiqi well. Don't fall," Tang Yen reminded him. Everyone in Jianchuan knew how precious this person was. If anything happened to him here, Tang Yen felt that he probably wouldn't be able to live anymore. Sheng Xiao supported Mu Qiqi, and Mu Qiqi was also very careful. From the moment she entered the crime scene, she had been very cautious. She had been listening attentively to Tang Yan's description of what had happened on the wall. "This is the place where Lu Zhao died." Mu Qiqi squatted down with Sheng Xiao's support and carefully observed her surroundings. "What are you looking for? If it's really as you said and a woman was involved in this case, then under such intense movements, her hair should have fallen off." Mu Qiqi picked up a long red hair from the ground. "Have the forensics team confirmed it?" "Of course they've confirmed it. This hair belongs to the original owner of this house." After Mu Qiqi heard this, she stood up with Sheng Xiao's help. "Master Xiao, help me walk around." The two of them wandered around the house with the flashlight. Mu Qiqi did not even let go of the few bedrooms. When the original owner moved, he didn't seem to have taken anything with him. "There are still so many clothes here." As she said this, Mu Qiqi stood in front of the wooden wardrobe. After saying this, Mu Qiqi took down one of the clothes and smelled it carefully. It smelled of mold. Of course, there was also a hint of perfume. Mu Qiqi took another one and found that there was only a moldy smell on it. "Captain Tang, when did the original owner move away?" Mu Qiqi suddenly asked sensitively. "4 months ago." Tang Yin answered from outside. There's something wrong with this clothes. Mu Qiqi handed a beige windbreaker to Tang Yin. See if you can extract anything important from it. What's the problem? There's the smell of perfume in the clothes, Mu Qiqi reminded him. Did the original owner leave it behind? Tang Yin took the windbreaker and put it in front of his nose to sniff it. You men don't use perfume, so you don't know much about perfume. No matter how famous a perfume is, it will only stay on clothes for about 5 days at most. Moreover, other clothes have a moldy smell. Only this one has a fragrance. It's been 2 days and 3 nights since the crime happened. It's the lingering period of the high-grade perfume. It can be seen that during the period when Lu Zhao was killed, a woman who liked to wear perfume had worn this clothes. This fragrance is the lingering smell on the clothes, Mu Qiqi explained to Tang Yin. Chapter 951. I'm afraid I'll have to find an expert. Mu Qiqi shook her head. That was all she knew about perfume. After all, she didn't need anything else other than perfume to remove the smell. I'll go and get the surveillance footage from the nearby area again, and visit the residents nearby to see if they've seen a woman wearing this dress and walking around. Or rather, I can get the surveillance footage of Lu Zhao being carried into the van and look at it again. Because of this dress, Tang Yin had a new direction to investigate the case. Leave the perfume to me, Sheng Xiao, who had been silent all this time, suddenly said to the two of them. Mu Qiqi and Tang Yin suddenly turned their heads and looked at Sheng Xiao together. Sheng Xiao continued, I'll give you an accurate answer tomorrow morning. Then I'll have to trouble you, CEO Sheng. But in order to ensure the integrity of the physical evidence, I'll send someone to your research department later to investigate with your people. Tang Yin knew that Sheng Xiao had an independent research department that covered a wide range of fields. One of the important reasons was to meet Mu Qiqi's needs before deciding whether to mass-produce it. Tomorrow, let's unveil the real murderer. The three of them searched the house carefully for a long time. Finally, when they finally left, Tang Yin asked Sheng Xiao before he got into the car. CEO Sheng, how confident are you that the Song family did this? We'll know if there are any new faces around Songjiang recently. I'll send someone to figure this out. You just have to investigate the Lu Zhao case, Sheng Xiao replied to Tang Yin. Tang Yin put his hands on his waist and nodded in the direction Sheng Xiao had left. He could feel the anger from Sheng Xiao's body. It seemed that the Song family had really stepped on his bottom line. After Sheng Xiao got into the car, Mu Qiqi quickly asked him for credit. I said that I'm useful, right? So it's definitely right for you to let me participate. Sheng Xiao tilted his head to look at her and pushed her head. It's time to go home and sleep. Is it so hard to praise me? Mu Qiqi mumbled. It was too much. When Sheng Xiao heard her complaint, he finally rubbed her head. Your Captain Tang can't do without you anymore. Haven't you noticed? That's the biggest compliment I can give you. It's useless if he can't live without me. I have to give birth to the baby first. I only hope that we can solve Lu Zhao's case as soon as possible. That way you'll feel much better. Without another word, Sheng Xiao drove away with Mu Qiqi. After returning home, he immediately informed the people in the scientific research department to cooperate with the police to extract the fragrance from the clothes as soon as possible. He also wanted to know the brand and origin of the perfume. As for the insides of the clothes, they absolutely could not be touched, because there might be biological traces of the woman left on them, such as skin or hair, which could be used to extract DNA. The people Tang Yin sent knew how to protect the physical evidence. The scientific research department had done an examination and had to immediately send it to the police station for further tests by the forensic doctor. Sheng Xiao had promised a whole morning, but before the sun rose, stay up late had already come to a conclusion in the research department. He also found a sample of the perfume and asked the police to bring it back to the police station. The name of this perfume is Hypnotize Poison. It's a legendary perfume launched by Dior in 1998, Red Poison. Tang Yin read the detailed explanation left by the people from Zhongting's research department. A female murderer wearing designer perfume? Tang Yin thought about it and felt that it was too interesting. He took the sample of the perfume and sniffed it. He felt that the smell was very special and a little pungent. It wasn't a problem with the perfume, but the man was too straight. However, for now, the use of the perfume had to be put aside. That was because he was checking the surveillance cameras at various intersections. Most importantly, he was repeatedly watching the video of Lu Zhao being carried into the van. He had watched the entire scene more than 10 times. Originally, he had planned to give up, but the shadow on the glass door of the convenience store made Tang Yin press the pause button. Then, he zoomed in infinitely and found that when the van driver was settling the bill with the owner of the store, the woman who was buying cigarettes was standing beside them. She had long hair and was wearing a beige trench coat. It was the one that Mu Qiqi had grabbed. Then the van driver went out and drove away. A moment later, the woman also left the convenience store with a mask on. Old Chung, think of a way to verify this woman's identity. Tang Yin pointed at the sleepy old Chung and instructed. Old Chung took a look and his eyes widened. Boss, who is this? The murderer of Lu Zhao's case. A woman. Old Chung was in disbelief. She has an accomplice. Old Chung looked at the trench coat beside Tang Yin and knew that he was already confident. He immediately perked up and sat down in front of the computer. Captain Tang, give me some time. At that moment, Tang Yin was in the branch office, racing against time to solve the case. The Song family was also planning to make a move again. This time, their target was Lu Zhao's daughter-in-law and grandson, because women and children were the easiest to deal with. This could also destroy Lu Zichen's determination to move forward. Song Jiang and Uncle Rong were discussing in the study. At this moment, Song Buozhi also found out that Uncle Rong had a very fierce gang in his hands that specialized in dealing with difficulties for the rich. This was why Uncle Rong had come head-on. It was simple and crude, not giving people a chance to react. The two old men were discussing in the study, while Song Buozhi sat in his office, watching the surveillance cameras. The police were trying to unravel the truth, and these two lunatics were plotting a murder case. Did they really think that Tang Yin and Sheng Xiao were dead? The old man used to have some concerns, but now that Uncle Rong was back, he had completely lost his mind. In order not to be dragged down by the old man, Song Buozhi felt that it was necessary for him to keep a hand up his sleeve just in case. It was beautiful to play games with Sheng Xiao and Mu Qiqi, but he did not want to completely involve himself in it. The next morning, Mu Qiqi got up and heard from Sheng Xiao that the Lu family would go to the branch office to retrieve Lu Zhao's body and arrange for the cremation. I'll go and comfort the Lu family on your behalf. Mu Qiqi got up as well. Although you've already been there, I've also seen Lu Zhao's body. I think they'll be more at ease if I go and comfort them. Sheng Xiao turned around from the mirror and glanced at Mu Qiqi. He did not refute her suggestion. Wear something thicker, big-bellied woman. Mu Qiqi was very unhappy when she heard that. There are two of me. Chapter 952. In the future, no one will sacrifice themselves in front of me. Although Sheng Xiao was saying this to Mu Qiqi, it was more like he was swearing to himself. Mu Qiqi put on her shoes and stood up. Looking at the man who was becoming more and more responsible, she couldn't help but feel sorry for him. It's the Shen family that implicated you. If I was afraid that you would be implicated, I wouldn't have accepted your secret love. You're bringing this up again. Mu Qiqi quickly covered her face. Can't you leave me some face? Sheng Xiao stood up and curled his lips. His tall figure had become even taller and more burly because of his responsibility. He looked more mature and reliable. Let's go. After breakfast, it was 8:15 am on Old Cheng's side. It took him an hour to finally find some clues. Captain Tang, do you think it's this woman? Her name is Shen Mei, a Singaporean. She was imprisoned for 7 years for theft and intentional assault. She was released from prison last year and disappeared. I don't know who she's working for now. Tang Yin finally saw the woman's face. What a thin and beautiful woman. If she was acting with another man and lured Lu Zhao to the demolition building, then no one would suspect that such a weak-looking woman was actually a murderer. Did you extract anything valuable from the clothes? Tang Yin asked as he flipped through the information. There are the deceased's fingerprints and hair. That doesn't belong to the original owner of the clothes. In other words, Shen Mei had strangled Lu Zhao to death in this clothes. Should I apply to summon her for questioning? We can't alert the enemy. Tang Yin shook his head. If you don't have conclusive evidence, it's impossible for a repeat offender like Shen Mei to admit to it. You have to know how strong that kind of person's mentality is. Then what should we do now? Old Chung scratched his head and asked, are we going to let her continue to get away with it? Just as Tang Yin was thinking about it carefully, thinking that he should hold a meeting to plan the next step, a subordinate at the door came to report that the Lu family had come to collect the body. At the same time, Mu Qiqi also came. Captain Tang, let me do the work of comforting the Lu family. Mu Qiqi was wearing a brown windbreaker and had a round belly. She walked in front of Tang Yin and said, go ahead. Tang Yin nodded. No one was more suitable than Mu Qiqi for this matter. A moment later, Mu Qiqi, wearing sterile clothes and white gloves, led the Lu family to the morgue. This was also the first time Mu Qiqi met Lu Zichen. He was not tall, but he was very handsome. His face was full of grief. It was obvious that he respected his father a lot. Mr. Lu, I'm very sorry about your father's death, but I believe that with the police's efforts, they will definitely give your Lu family an explanation. Lu Zichen and his wife bowed to Mu Qiqi. He knew who Mu Qiqi was. On behalf of my parents, I would like to express my gratitude to you. This is your father's relic, the button on his suit. Because it's an important piece of evidence, we can't return it to you. Lu Zichen's eyes lit up when he heard the word material evidence. He asked, do you have any clues about the murderer? Just go back and bury your father. Those who killed him, don't even think about escaping. Mu Qiqi encouraged him seriously. Also, your wife doesn't look well. You're the pillar of the Lu family now. You must take good care of your family's safety. Thank you, Mrs. Sheng. If my father is in heaven and knows that he can still meet so many good people after he leaves, he will definitely be very pleased. Mu Qiqi smiled at him. But just as the two of them turned around, Mu Qiqi suddenly smelled a familiar scent. She quickly called out to Lu Zichen. Wait a minute, please wait a moment. Lu Zichen turned around with his wife and saw Mu Qiqi chasing after them. She asked Lu Zichen's wife, Mrs. Lu, do you wear perfume? Mrs. Lu shook her head in confusion. After having a child, I almost don't wear perfume. What's wrong? Did you see a woman this morning? When I sent my child to school, I did meet a woman at the school gate. At that time, my son fell down, and she kindly helped him up. She also told me that she was a new teacher at the kindergarten. Mrs. Lu recalled carefully and sniffed her body. There's the smell of perfume. Then can you call the kindergarten right now to confirm your son's safety? Also, get someone reliable to bring your son back. You must be quick, Mu Qiqi said anxiously. The murderer's next target was not Lu Zichen, but Lu Zichen's wife and child. After hearing Mu Qiqi's words, Lu Zichen immediately guessed what was going on. He immediately said to Mu Qiqi, my wife and I will go pick him up right away. Don't worry. I'm just guessing. Don't alert the kindergarten first. Instead, the other party will notice and take action in advance. I'll go look for Captain Tang now to discuss a solution. No need, I heard everything, Tang Yin said from behind Mu Qiqi. I'll lead the team over now, but Mr. and Mrs. Lu, it's best for you to stay at the police station. Don't go anywhere and wait for our news. That was the effect of perfume. Qiqi, you stay here too. Mu Qiqi instantly understood Tang Yan's intentions and nodded. Don't worry, we'll wait for your news. I hope this is a false alarm. Can you take me there? I want to see my son. Mrs. Lu took a step forward excitedly. However, Mu Qiqi stopped her. Believe me, Mrs. Lu, they want to save your child just like you. If you go with them, you might become one of the murderer's targets. At that time, not only will the police have to save your son, but they will also have to take care of you. The gains won't make up for the losses. I'm also going to be a mother soon. I understand your feelings, but at this time, you must think of the child. After Mrs. Lu heard this, she hugged her husband and cried. Lu Zichen immediately comforted her. I believe in the police. You believe with me, okay? When Tang Yin saw this, He immediately led the team and set off. It seemed that the Song family did not intend to stop. Then, Tang Yin called Sheng Xiao and borrowed a person. In terms of strength, he was above Su Che, but in terms of agility, no one could compare to Su Che. Moreover, that kindergarten was very close to Zhongting. Tang Yin hoped that Su Che could go over and save them first. At this moment, Song Jiang might not know that the identities of the two generals in Uncle Rong's hands had been exposed. And they would be exposed even more next. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support. And don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.